Sun would also be a couple of rain showers late in the afternoon, 75. Some evening rain showers around up until about 8 o'clock or so, then turning partly cloudy, 54. Saturday, sunshine, 75. Sunday, sunny, 75 again. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Don't melt in the heat. If your AC unit isn't working, Air Comfort Service can get you back in the comfort zone fast with an AC service call for only $99. To get your AC serviced, visit aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome to the Annie Fry Show. Happy Friday. I said to you earlier this week, what was it? I guess it would have been Monday. I said our next holiday off is Thanksgiving. You said we get Veterans Day off?
We do.
I did see that on the sheets. I feel like the early part of September after Labor Day is like, gosh, hunker down, lock in.
Well, yeah, except that this is also when the weather gets really nice and fall is coming up. I like
jazzed?
this time of year a lot, even though we don't have a lot of holidays.
I like it too. It makes me feel I like I like it when it gets darker earlier. When it's the winter time, I have no problem with that because it makes me more focused on getting stuff done. I don't feel like I just want to be out sitting by the pool soaking up the rays.
This is tied for my favorite part of the year, Annie. September/early October. I love going into fall. But the other time that I really love we're coming out of, which is July. July 4th and right around there, there's just not much happening. There's patriotic stuff everywhere. I just like that.
That's June for me.
Yeah, okay.
I like June because it's summer, but it's the start of summer.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about anything ending, which I do not like endings. Anyway, it's beautiful outside.
Yep.
And I feel that little that football is in the air. People are doing the fall things are kind of starting to set in. Went past a pumpkin patch yesterday, full of pumpkins.
What? It had ripe pumpkins?
Yeah.
Wow, that seems early.
Yeah, I'll give them a shout out. Didn't stop there. Been there before, though. It's in Edwardsville off of Old Troy Road. There's the little bend that goes between like Maryville and Edwardsville. Great pumpkin patch out there.
Okay.
Great little place to go. Don't tell them I sent you because I don't know if I don't know if they'd love that or not. You can't. I don't care. Yesterday's hearing with RFK Jr., to me, I feel like we're 24 hours out of this cycle of him testifying, and all the arguments are the same as they were before. Isn't that weird? Isn't it weird how you can have somebody sit in front of a panel of a select group, of the most select group of people that is in Washington, D.C., which is the Senate, and you have the opportunity to ask a bunch of questions, and at the end, everybody just goes back to their corners, and it's the same.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what happened. There was a lot of fireworks yesterday, but...
If you watched...
Which I did.
No, well, but I mean, nobody brags about fireworks that were. I mean, if the fireworks are absolutely amazing, best fireworks show that there's ever been. If you don't see it, it really doesn't matter. You can't go back and watch it and be like, "Gosh, that was great on replay." When you're watching it, and we played that one clip of Senator Lujan. Is that what it was from New Mexico? What a doof. But they just go back and forth, and RFK Jr. is like, "You're making stuff up." And they just are like, they don't even address that he says that they're making stuff up.
I don't know.
They just continue on.
I thought it was high drama, and if you disagree with me, I'm not going to give you my starfish pin. Now, if you don't know what that came from.
I've never seen anything like this.
That was weird. That was so. And it was clear that that was going to be his ending.
He was so pumped.
He had it planned.
He was so pumped for that moment.
Yep. It was Senator Lujan yesterday. So if you didn't hear it, this is what we played at this time yesterday. Senator Lujan, and I think we played the whole exchange. It was like 5 minutes long.
Because you can't look away.
And at the end of it, after being, I would say, utterly embarrassed, Senator Lujan from New Mexico says, well, I'm not even going to give you my starfish pin.
He goes at the beginning, he goes, I wore this pin because I was going to give you one of these today.
Right.
Bull crap.
You weren't going to do that. No, you weren't.
Bull crap. I thought to myself after it was done that the pettiness of it sounded like something I'd say to you at the end of a segment. And we'd laugh, and then we'd go on to talk about something silly.
But that was his, okay, I'm going to slam the dunk now. I'm going to go for this thing, and I've got the starfish pin ready, and I'm going to tell him no matter what happens that I was going to give it to him, but now I'm not. And now, you know what happened after that? Robert F. Kennedy Jr. did not have a starfish pin.
Oh, poor baby.
Yep.
I can't believe it. I can't believe that this is the real life that we are living in. And it just, the reason why it sticks out like a sore thumb to me a little bit more right now is because there's no substance behind it. It's not like you have, a formidable opponent in the Democrat Party right now that has the attention of the American people, 45% of the American people, that looks like it's a striking force against what the Republicans have to offer right now. You just have people going, I was going to give you my pin, but now I'm not. And then they are like, next questioner.
It's also just so surface. If you take if you have two sides in this battle going on right now, just like we did yesterday, on display, and one of them is medicine, science for the people, and the other one is corporate interests, and half of the room goes, we're with corporate interests. You have abandoned your principles. They don't say it that way, but that's exactly what they're doing.
I don't know if they've abandoned their principles. I think that they're exposing that they didn't have any.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's, like I said yesterday, and then we had the conversation with Harris Faulkner yesterday, which is on the podcast. It's very frustrating to have questions about these types of things and want to know answers. And really, it seems as though the leading discussion coming from the RFK Jr. camp is, shouldn't we be able to ask questions about these things? Mm-hmm. Shouldn't we be able to go back to the medical schedules that we have assembled and question? We should question them. And then if it still shows that this is the correct mode of providing health care to the American people, then we soldier forward. But that's not something that the Democrats are. It's like if RFK Jr. is asking the questions, then absolutely not. It must not happen. Well, that is not intellectual in any way, shape, or form. In the meantime, there's so many of these huge, huge stories just kind of simmering, bubbling a little bit under the surface regarding the last administration and also things that the prior administrations have done to try to stop Donald Trump. And it can't be, to me, it cannot be a conversation that just goes away when we are looking at what happened during the Joe Biden administration. I think I haven't really even seen many people trying to throw this out as like, oh, leave the old man alone. People aren't even making that argument. The questions surrounding the administration before Donald Trump's, there are so many valid questions that need to be discussed and addressed and answered that people aren't even really saying, leave the old man alone. Because if you say that, then it kind of subsidizes the argument against an incompetent person who wasn't in charge while he was bearing the responsibility of the highest office in the world. Who was doing what and when? John Solomon, who has been an incredible reporter the entire time this has been going on, is reporting on this a little bit more. I'm going to listen in and hear. He was on with Real America's Voice. And he's been at the bottom of this. He's kind of a one-man guy. JustTheNews.com is where he does most of his reporting. And he's exposing without really a net. Like he doesn't. He has a show, right, on Real America's News?
Yeah.
Just the News is a show. But he's kind of a one-man band in this regard where he does this reporting. He's in a position to deliver to the American people what he himself researches, and he gets to the bottom of a lot of these things with just delivering facts. pretty impressive. We're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to give you that clip when we return. John Solomon reporting on some wild new revelations that Joe Biden might not have even known who was on the list of people who are being provided clemency by way of his auto pen. That's a really, really enormous deal, and we're going to discuss it when we come back. YouTube live chat poll for today. If a show member here on the Annie Fry Show wins the Powerball, we had a little bit of this discussion yesterday, how much should they give their castmates? So you can kind of think about this right now in the context of your coworkers, maybe coworkers that you used to have if you're retired now. What would you feel obligated to give your coworkers that you work with the most? Nothing? Maybe a year's salary? $500,000, or push it up into the 7 figures. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Mark Cox here. Let me introduce you to my friends at the Lit Cigar Lounge in St. Louis, where luxury meets comfort. Premium hand-rolled cigars, an extensive selection of rare bourbons and whiskeys and craft cocktails. It's comfortable for non-smokers, too. They have a state-of-the-art ventilation system. They have private lockers and live music every Friday night, perfect for date nights or business meetings or just winding down. Visit litstl.com.
That baby's gone!
Cardinals fans, FanDuel Sports Network is your home of the Cardinals.
That ball was mashed.
And there are more ways to watch this season.
Holy cow!
Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream the Cardinals without blackouts.
How about that play?
Or watch through a TV provider.
Incredible!
Including DirecTV, Spectrum, Xfinity, Fubo, and more.
He got it!
Learn more at cardinals.com/TV.
Ball game! It couldn't have worked out any better for the Cardinals.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hello from Pro Outdoor, your #1 irrigation and sprinkler team. Aeration and overseeding season is here to repair summer brown spots. Make sure your sprinkler system is tuned up to water in that fresh seed. We're running fall specials on aeration, overseeding, and new residential sprinkler installs within 2 weeks. Call 636-695-7800 or visit ProOutdoor.com to see all our services. That's 636-695-7800.
With conviction and clarity, The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Come on and fly with me, let's fly away. Come fly with me, let's float down to Peru. In Llama Land, there's a
In the morning,
you're going to have a lot more details. This time about what really went on with the auto pen and Joe Biden. For the first time, we're seeing documents produced from the National Archives that show that the Biden White House lawyers believe that Joe Biden had an obligation to personally sign pardons, that he may have designated decisions for signatures on things like legislation and pardons to other people. Didn't even show up in the room. No record of him being in the room when certain things were signed. This is explosive new documents. It's the first time anyone's going to make them public. We'll have them on the site when you wake up tomorrow morning, but we're going to keep you up to speed, keep a close eye on it. These are bombshell documents. Even surprised me about what was really being discussed behind the scenes at the Biden White House. All of this dug out of the National Archives, and also good work by the White House Counsel's Office for President Trump, who has its own review of this ongoing and found some of these documents.
Joe Biden wasn't even in the room, and the emails that were passed back and forth by staffers ask specifically for some documentation that shows that the president has reviewed these lists, and they're like, he doesn't look at them.
It's not surprising, but it is amazing. It's also surprising that it takes this long to get these things, which I understand. They got to do a lot of investigation here, and you got to cross every T, dot every I. But now that these do exist, I'm just really interested to see where this story goes.
And we need to continue to pursue it.
Yeah.
It can't be something that people are like, gosh, that was, I do see some people on the left, if you start talking about this, but their response is like, but release the files, which is just their way of saying Donald Trump is implicated in the Epstein files, and everything that happens in D.C. right now that isn't that is a cover-up of that. And there's really no evidence whatsoever that suggests that Donald Trump has done something nefarious in his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, which appears to be business-based and social among many other people who attended the events at the same time. So he never flew to the island. None of that stuff happened. And nobody who has had the opportunity to really blow the lid off the thing has been like, I got news for you. He was involved. That's not happened. This is also developing. It's not a great day for Joe Biden. This is also a developing story. Fox News reported through Brooke Singman that the Biden administration, quote, weaponized the full weight of the federal government against Christians. Now, this doesn't sound like new news to probably folks like you who have been following along this whole time, and probably many of you, not all of you, are also Christians, so you've probably felt this in a certain type of way, specifically Catholics. According to Trump leadership laying out in a new report the numerous instances of past anti-Christian bias and recommendations to protect faith in America, Fox News Digital exclusively obtained the report published by the task force to eradicate anti-Christian bias created by President Donald Trump and chaired by Attorney General Pam Bondi. You know, we lived a time in our lives, being in our 40s, where we still understand what normal looked like. There's an Americana normal that if you're 40, you lived that experience, and you don't have to have anyone tell you about it. The idea that you could be Christian in America and that be kind of like run-of-the-mill normal, but not really something that would be, it's in a secular way of describing being Christian, it was a way of life that a lot of people subscribe to, especially here in the Midwest. That's not unusual. It wasn't labeled as something that was like interfering in the existence of other people who just chose not to live that life. We, ironically, it's weird for me to think about this, that if you're an elder millennial, you are among the final people to live in the good old days. To understand what it was like, it really is pre-internet. My son said, because again, we're watching The West Wing, so it's late 90s, early 2000s, certainly before the internet was a thing. They talk in The West Wing, the show, about kind of like, they'll talk about legislation to prepare for what the internet could be, which is a weird thing to listen to now in 2025. People wear pagers. Does anybody still wear a pager?
I don't know, but if you do, hats off to you.
You're dealing drugs.
You got to look. and you know what it is, and you're rolling with it.
They're dealing it. This is like the known only use in the 90s of kids who wore pagers was that they dealt drugs.
Or stocks.
I don't think so. Don't you? Wasn't that an understood thing?
Yeah.
They were banned and everything? Because, a pager, drug dealer.
No, I literally think that's the only reason anybody would wear one now, because it's untraceable.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
why, because it's old tech. So if you get some sort of message on it, nobody knows.
I saw a report that said that BlackBerries were untraceable, protected, and that's why
Same thing.
big tech decided to phase them out.
I've seen the same thing.
I don't remember where I saw that.
I don't either.
I got to know did I read that report at 3 a.m. or at 3 p.m.? One of those is more likely to be from a reputable source. At 3 a.m., I'm like, I've read everything normal. Give me the good stuff.
Well, at 3 a.m., you're getting into the real stuff then.
Oh.
That's when you're finally getting past the surface level news.
Fox News reports the task force had a clear mandate to ensure that, quote, any unlawful and improper conduct, policies, or practices that target Christians are identified, terminated, and rectified. The task force was directed to deliver an initial assessment, which Fox News Digital exclusively obtained Friday. The report provides an overview of, quote, the damage that can be done when religious liberty is not protected and preserved for all Americans. Quote, the task force makes this commitment. The federal government will never again be permitted to turn its power against people of faith. Under President Trump and Attorney General Bondi's leadership, in partnership with all members of this task force, the rule of law will be enforced with vigor, and every religion will be treated with equality in both policy and action. Adding, quote, the days of anti-Christian bias in the federal government are over. Faith is not a liability in America. It is a liberty. This is where I feel like gaslighting gets snuffed out, and we can all kind of walk into the room and be like, oh, you're here too? Because we watched, who was it yesterday? Was it Harris Faulkner yesterday? It said Obama talked about Christians clinging to their Bibles and guns or whatever. Like the sentiment that's come out of the Democrat Party has been intentionally anti-Christian. Now, I'm sure that they would take the votes of Christians. So that's not to say that if you're a Democrat in 2010 or in 2020, that you can't be a Democrat voting Christian. But I really am starting to question the manifestation of what that looked like in a government that does have a bureaucracy that can affect the way we live our lives, affect the way we move about our First Amendment. When people are saying that Christians are under attack, when people say that Christians were labeled domestic terrorists, that's a real thing. That's not hyperbole. That's not some sort of conjecture that is supposed to rile up the Bible thumpers and get them out to the polls. No, that actually really did happen. There was a time where that type of comment would be conjecture, but it moved itself into a bureaucracy that felt so comfortable with who the leadership was that they could do these types of things. Label you domestic terrorists. Try to push themselves into the church secretively to expose the methodology of what the church was going to do. I feel almost burdened by how obvious the evil is that is involved here.
Thank you.
And again, it's not that if you're a Democrat, you can't be Christian. It's not that if you're a Democrat that you're evil. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is what these people who were definitely on the Democratic side of the aisle did was evil. It's evil.
It showed up all over the place too, and I'm not going to out anybody that I know here for sake of anonymity, but we know for 4 years. I'm not going to say
Schmanny
Schry.
Fly.
Schmanny Fly.
Yes.
My friend who works with
Mark Cox.
me. I mean Mark. No, for 4 years we saw the abuse of the asylum system over and over and over. So if you came into this country, you were coached actually to say certain words so that you could claim asylum, even if you didn't know English. Here's the script.
Yeah.
Here's what you say. So they abuse the asylum system. In the meantime, and this is what doesn't get reported, there are people that I know of personally who are Middle Eastern Christians, and they are genuinely fleeing martyrdom. They're fleeing from real death.
We're talking actual, real.
They could not get asylum in this country for 4 years. Immediately Trump takes over. They got asylum because that's what asylum is for. That's the purpose of having it.
You're saying that asylum is for the purpose of the asylee and not the political party that says, come on in.
They were politicizing it against Christians, is my point. And it's very obvious, and it's all over the place, and everybody knows that it was happening. That's one example of it.
Doesn't it feel a little bit, we're all Christians here, but doesn't it feel like one of the pillars of what the Democrats, as a party, as people who have the power to affect an outcome, doesn't it feel like one of the pillars of what they have to destroy?
Yes.
Is organized religion.
I would say it's the pillar.
Possibly. Everything else falls after that.
Yes, it does.
And isn't that ironic?
Yeah, communism becomes the religion of the state. And it wants to be that.
I just this is all the type of stuff that I don't want to say out loud because it will sound crazy to some people. But it's too freaking obvious. I don't feel like I'm not pulling the curtain back on anything here. It's one of the lead stories on Fox News today. After preliminary review of federal agencies and departments, the task force uncovered, quote, numerous instances of anti-Christian bias during the Biden administration. Quote, Joe Biden weaponized the full weight of the federal government against Christians and trampled on their fundamental First Amendment rights. Unlike Joe Biden, President Trump is protecting Christians, not punishing them. There's the politics of it, of course. You're going to get that through. But this is why we tie these two stories together. And this is why it's so important to not let this auto pen thing go. We're looking at what the Joe Biden administration did specifically to Christians. And you're giving it, Ryan, you're giving an anecdote of something that you know specifically and personally that people can't call in and be like, well, that's not happening. You're like, I know the names of the people it happened to. So
yes.
that's we can't argue with that at all. It happened, you know that, and of course we trust you with that. But if you have, in the first Joe Biden story we did here, a president who was not present when clemency was being provided, when pardons were being provided, and you had a president by committee of unelected people who used that opportunity to attack our Christian faith, what else would they have done in the process? How far else would they have taken an absent-minded president to take the inch and go the mile, to subvert a whole bunch of our rights, to subvert the understanding that it's a government by the people for the people, not by the Democrat Party for the Democrat Party, or even more so, I would say by the deep state for the deep state. If they felt like they could do these types of things behind closed doors, what limitations would they felt that they had on them? The only way that you have a check on this is if you have an honest broker in the media. And we know for a fact that that's not the case. These are all storylines that aren't as here and now when it comes to grocery prices or when it comes to, how does Donald Trump feel not standing there with Putin and Xi and Kim Jong-un? They left him out. He doesn't want to be standing there, nor does he need to. The reason those three people decided to take pictures together at a big military parade was to send a message to Donald Trump. That's the whole point of them getting together. They don't bring him in. The intellectual beginner level arguments that are being made against Donald Trump is because the grasping at straws, they're running out of straws. And all of this stuff is starting to come out. And if you get tired of hearing about, during Joe Biden's administration, yes, we know. We saw it with our own eyes. We knew he wasn't there. But Donald Trump beat him. What are you going to do for me now? We have to pull out every single deep rooted weed that is in our federal government, that is in our state governments, that decided to utilize an absent press and an absent president in order to control you in a way that didn't serve you. It has to be rooted out. And Joe Biden, to me, is they felt like they got too good at it. They got so lazy from doing this probably in super secretive, tiny, tight circle ways for how long? I don't know. We know Barack Obama was sitting in his office, in the Oval Office, in 2016 after Donald Trump won the election. And they are like, oh, we're going to need a better intelligence report than that. That one that you just provided us doesn't serve our purposes. Try again. So it's happening in 2016. How do they feel that comfortable? How far back does it go? Does it go back to when Republicans were doing it? Maybe. Expose them all. Quick break. When we come back, we want to know from you. The YouTube live chat poll, if a show member wins the Powerball, how much should we give our castmates? We had a little bit of a discussion about this yesterday. We'll chat about it throughout the course of the show. Ethan was super pumped about this one. To figure out how many of us are actually going to buy a Powerball ticket.
Let's not talk about that.
We're not buying them together. I'm not participating in that.
No, we won't buy them together.
No. All right, let's take a quick break. Morning Fry Show in a minute.
You may hear all the
If it's time for new
angels
windows,
cheer
there's only one
because
place to
the
call. That is Window World. Mark Cox here. Call my friends at Window World at 314-993-1800 for your free estimate today. If you have any questions, they'll be glad to send someone out to explain all of it to you. You can even schedule right online at windowworldstl.com. You know, there's a lot of high-interest financing out there, but here's what Window World's doing. Right now, they're offering 18 up to 36 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. You can't beat that. You also get a lifetime warranty that covers all of the parts, the glass breakage, and labor. Who else stands behind their product like that? Over half the appointments Window World will set this year are from previous customers or referrals from those customers. That is a testimony to their customer service, their quality, and their commitment to creating loyal customers. That's what you get with Window World. Call them at 314-993-1800, windowworldstl.com.
The YouTube live chat poll today, we were just talking about it. If a show member wins the Powerball, how much should they give their castmates? Nothing, a year's salary, $500,000, or 7 figures. Those are the choices that we've given you.
You want to read Russell's comment there up on our live stream?
Russell says, you'll get nothing and like it.
Yikes.
Dang, Russell. All right, fine. Then I'm not going into the pool with you. That's the... What?
The pool?
The lottery pool.
Not the swimming pool.
Not if you're...
I didn't know if you guys were like going out after the show or something. Never mind.
I can't tell you what we do after the show, Russell and I. 12:35. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Your voice, your values. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Morgan Wallen. You like Morgan Wallen?
No.
Do you know him?
Not personally.
Gosh, it's do you know any of his music?
No. I just don't care about country music.
So your default is that you don't like people.
I don't like
you
Are
actively
you a country
don't
artist?
like them until
I don't like
you do.
you. Yes.
Okay.
Hey, if you have not broken through to my attention, I'm
Morgan,
like, well,
Morgan Wallen hasn't quite made it yet.
he hasn't broken through for me. And when he does, and I hear that, I'm like, meh. I do all those things with my mouth. That was not a real toot.
I'm not going to say any names. I'm going to say this happens in the Fry household. I can't say any names, lest all the people in my house be able to defend their innocence. There was a toot in my house.
Oh, we're going that route, huh?
Somebody.
Thought we were talking country music.
No, somebody had a toot, which is what nobody says. And
That sounds like a very British proper way of saying something.
Well, at home we only speak with British accents.
Good heavens, it seems that someone's had a toot.
Yeah, but it really means
My word.
it really means like a coffee break or something.
Yeah, it's a cigarette.
Yeah.
Is that a toot?
Can I
Mind if
borrow
I
a
have
toot?
one? It smells wonderful. I've been craving one.
Oh, no. Anyway, there was a toot in the Fry household.
'Twas a toot.
And another person in our house goes to the tutor.
The tootie, said the tutor.
Said, when was the last time you did that?
Oh. Now you caught my attention.
So I said, what do? Write it down in your diary? And now, this is so funny. I don't know if anybody else is going to think this is funny, but it's my favorite thing in my house right now. And I've thought for weeks about telling the story in the air, but I didn't know how to do it. So I said, what do? Write them down in your diary? So now, whenever anybody toots, specifically Molly, she'll be sitting in the back of the car, and all of a sudden she'll go, "Dear diary."
Oh my gosh, that's super funny. That's really, especially
funny.
if it's silent, nobody knows she did it.
That's the way it's always is. She's a little 4-year-old girl. She just sitting in the back of the car. I'm listening to Fox News and Sirius XM, and all of a sudden I hear, "Dear diary."
Now, does she know that that's that funny? Or is that just...
She knows it makes us laugh.
Okay.
And she likes to make us laugh. So
That's great.
I can't. It was too funny not to tell. I apologize, Molly.
Wait.
Molly doesn't do it.
So the original Tutti might not have been Molly, you're saying?
Correct.
But it could have been.
Could have been.
I'm assuming it wasn't, because you outed Molly pretty quick.
She's the one who says the joke all the time. She's the one who's kept it alive.
Mm-hmm.
To be completely quiet. You don't hear anything and just, "Dear diary."
I'm going to text Jared. Jared, who farted?
Just text Jared, "Dear diary." He'll know. He'll be like, "Oh, God, what happened?" Actually, I think are you going to text him?
Yeah.
He's teaching right now. He's going to be in the front of the class. His watch is going to go off. He's going to look at it. It's going to be wicked saying, "Dear diary," and he's not going to be able to handle it.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
I don't know. There's something about 4-year-olds with a sense of humor that kills me. And it's, everybody toots. But Molly tells us "Dear diary" every time she toots. And she laughs after she does it. She thinks it's great. I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah. Well, he's not responded yet, so.
Well, he is employed and working. I'm sure he won't respond until he's on break or in passing period.
Passing gas period.
Don't make it about him. It's not about him. I was going to say, in fact, when this happened, I think everybody was in my room waiting for Jared to get home from something, and I think he was the only one who wasn't there. We had to explain to him the Dear Diary.
I'm gonna say this right now. There's a lot of great comments on our YouTube, and I'm gonna pull up one. Ron says, "I only crop dust the ones I love."
Oh.
And I will just say that is one of the greatest analogies that I've ever heard. Not the ones I love part, but just the term crop dusting is so perfect for what that is that I'm amazed that it didn't come up 300 years ago. I guess they didn't have like crop dusting in the same way.
This is 100%. This is 100% boy territory.
Guess they didn't have crop dusters 300 years
No,
ago.
I guess they didn't. But let's go back pre-World War I.
We could have a segment called The Cone of Silence. We should have done that in The Cone of Silence.
Yeah. And now here we are.
Dear diary.
I'm gonna take that
No,
comment
not
off.
me.
Did you?
No.
I didn't either, but now Jared's going to think I did.
That's so true. That's so true. I wouldn't be surprised if I get a message from him that says, "Ryan just texted me, Dear Diary." You'll keep you folks up to dated. The be or not to be. What is this? What's my
you're
problem?
doing fine.
I'm embarrassed for telling this story on the air. The be or not to be when we come back in Wiggins America. Stories and news headlines that are real or not. And Ryan brings them to us. We get to play a little game. 1 o'clock hour, we're going to do What I Miss. And next question in the 2 o'clock hour, where you can send us questions and we can answer whatever you want to ask us. Throw them at us in the Annie Fry YouTube chat. We'll be right back.
The Kansas City Chiefs season kicks off week 1 tonight against the Chargers in Brazil as the first week of NFL football begins. All of it is right here on 97.1 FM Talk tonight. Pre-game is at 6 and kickoff is at 7.
What's your favorite 4-letter word? Chances are you've said it more than a few times dealing with this crazy world we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our 4-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. And hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar, and maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now. But all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes. And find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Hi, Mark Cox with Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Welcome back, Gloria. You've been helping families for over 22 years with your guarantees, your buyers in waiting program, and you were telling me that between now and year end is a great time to sell. Can you share why?
Always good to see you. When it comes to timing, the spring and fall selling season have historically been the most active. However, due to raised home value and affordability, this market still has lots of sellers and buyers on the sidelines. Fact is, between now and year end is a great time to discuss the sale of your home. I have guaranteed sale program solutions for every situation, including instant multiple cash offers, 100% market value, or my trusted guarantee sale program, where I'll sell your home at our agreed upon price, or I will buy it myself.
Sounds like a plan, and the time is now. Call Gloria right now at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Live, local, and conservative. It's the Annie Fry Show. 97.1 FM Talk.
Wiggins. Oh, Wiggins.
The Bee or Not the Bee.
A series of stories, some of them real, some of them fake, from the Babylon Bee. I'll read a headline, tell me which is which. The first one, British authorities warn there is a man loose on the streets threatening to share an opinion.
Oh, man. I think that's the Bee headline written about a very, unfortunately, real situation.
Yeah, I'm with Annie on this one.
Indeed, it is the Bee.
Like a British person.
I will. Hang on. According to an official bulletin, the recently released Graham Linehan represented an urgent threat to public order, as he had not only come up with an idea not conforming to politically acceptable ideology all on his own, but also threatened to spread this idea by engaging others in reasonable civil discourse. He's a shifty little blighter, all right.
Say indubitably.
Indubitably.
No, that
but
was like a senator.
But we'll cook his chops in a jiffy, said Lieutenant Briggs, who works with the Scotland Yard.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Chicago shootings down as the guy who keeps track of all the shootings gets shot.
Oh, no. That can't be real.
Yeah, this has to be the Bee.
This is the Bee.
Okay.
At publishing time,
I'm happy for that guy.
Sources within City Hall said that there would be no rush to fill the position of the person who keeps track of all the shootings, in hopes that having no one there to keep track of all the shootings would result in a significant number of shootings not being counted.
How much of the crime statistics across our country do you think are completely fabricated so that cities like St. Louis don't look like they have as much crime? People are bragging about crime going down in St. Louis.
How many cities are doing it, or what?
Just how rampant do you think fudge numbers are?
I think it's very, very real.
Ugh.
I mean, there have been interviews that Fox News National has done with people in D.C. saying that they would have, I think it was officers on the ground, that would be at a crime scene, and somebody higher up would show up and say, here's how you're going to classify this crime. and they'd be like, that's wrong, though. But they knew what was happening, and it would happen over and over and over. And you think DC's the only place doing that? No way. Next one, Pete Hegseth updates pronouns of Navy's transgender healthcare director to she, her, fired.
I saw this headline. Is this real?
You tell me.
How would he update her pronouns? Or did he just like put it in real?
Yeah, real.
This is real.
Oh, I saw this headline. I didn't read it. What?
Did you know that there was a director for transgender healthcare in the United States Navy? It's amazing to me. We're 8 months in, and they're still finding these. Like, how big of a bureaucracy do they have to be?
You think that those people would be prominently out there?
Yeah, I guess so. And they were. Her American Medical Association profile describes her as a, quote, bisexual physician who is an active leader on the LGBTQIA plus committee and the Justice, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusiveness Committee. And Pete Hegseth basically just fired her by saying she/her/fired.
Can you? That's essentially what Gina Carano got fired from Disney and from The Mandalorian for saying something that was actually probably, in my opinion, not even as aggressive as what Pete Hegseth just said.
Was it that? Because I know she said quite a few things, but I thought
she put in pronouns in there that was like beep, bop, boop.
Oh,
she made fun
yeah.
of those pronouns, and that was a part of the reason she lost her job. So I feel like that she was saying that about herself. Like, that's a journey in time to go from that, where now Gina Carano and Disney have settled that lawsuit that Elon Musk helped her levy against Disney, and the kumbaya moment after the settlement was like, oh, we really look forward to working together again.
She was also very critical of the vaccine mandates in the COVID era. And I thought they said something that she said randomly was anti-Semitic.
Yes,
it was made up.
But it was like she was saying all the wrong things.
Yeah.
To be approved by the people who got to make the approval.
Right.
Which is the deep state or Biden people. I just think it's pretty amazing that we are at this end of it, where now Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, is saying we're not doing this anymore and making a joke about it on the way out.
And this would be a major news story in most instances, but it barely made not the B. Like that's how much this stuff's going on right now. All right, next one. California DA resigns after his meth dealer rats him out.
Uh-oh. Real.
Yeah, this is real.
Believable.
It has to be real. It's too close to.
Yeah, it's got too much detail, right? Yeah, it is real. This is a real story. Mike McAfee, the district attorney of Mariposa County, stepped down after his dealer, Gary Shiznewski.
That sounds totally real. What's your name? That sounds like the name we just
made up a name. That's my name, Ski. Showed text from this guy, Gary Shiznewski, showed text.
He's the schniz.
That dude had some nicknames in high school,
I know
man.
He does.
You guarantee
and they're
it.
all easier to say than his real name.
And they're all fun. He showed text from the DA to the local paper, which then showed them to the local sheriff. According to San Francisco Gate, the text published by the Gazette, some of which included typos, throwing the dude under the bus, man, show McAfee asking for the usual energy pack or a little pick-me-up, often arranging drop-offs at his Merced home or along his commute to Mariposa. On April 16th, McAfee allegedly asked Shiznewski to meet him in a middle school in Merced to buy from him. Real story. That is a California DA buying the meth. Next one. Genius Trump enacts plan to dumb down Chinese population by inviting them to attend American universities.
I'll go with the B.
Yeah, same.
That's
You're going to
good.
go with the B?
That's hilarious.
That is the B.
Like, no, let's import them all.
Educate them here. Quote, pretty soon, Chinese kids will all be dumb, just as dumb as American students,
Aw.
the president reportedly told his advisors. We'll let in hundreds of thousands of Chinese students, have them waste their time in American universities sitting in gender studies classes and college courses about Taylor Swift, and the next thing you know, China will be in the toilet. If it worked here, it can work there. It'll make things very difficult for the Chinese, believe me, very difficult. That is the B. Next one. We got 2 stories left here.
Okay.
Donkey Kong certain collecting another banana will fill the God-shaped hole in his heart.
You couldn't even get through that one. You can't even complete the headline. The B.
No, this is real.
The B.
This is the B. Quote, "Oh, banana," DK said, illustrating that he hoped his next banana would finally bring him the lasting peace and happiness he had fruitlessly sought his entire life. Religious experts interviewed by the Babylon Bee believe that Donkey Kong's fruitless search for his next dopamine hit is a mere distraction from what he truly needs, Christ. Quote, "It's so sad."
When the revival gets that far, I'm opting
We're good.
out.
Oh, no, we're in a good place.
I think that's a bridge a wee bit too far for me, but yeah.
Quote, "It's so sad, but I really hope he finds the Lord," said Pastor Giovanni Ravioli. Unfortunately, he can't read. He can barely communicate with people at all. He is an ape.
In a cartoon.
That was a great one.
All right, last one.
Last one. Women's parallel parking added to 2028 Olympics.
Oh, man. Let me guess. It's by all transgender women. It's like the true test of whether or not you're an actual woman.
You're taking
Can you
it
parallel
very
park?
seriously.
Man, you nailed that. Give him a biological gender test.
Brad? B. Yep. The International Olympic Committee reportedly voted to include the event so that women would have a greater opportunity to compete for medals. Ouch. The event will reportedly have no male counterpart because parallel parking is too easy for men.
I bet I'm the best parallel parker in here.
Ooh, we should have a contest.
We should.
Because I'm pretty darn good myself. Brad drives a very large truck, so it's got to be tough on him. But he is a large guy. I didn't mean that negatively.
I don't think the physical size of a person has anything to do with their ability to put a car in a spot.
Well, Brad can answer that later. Quote, "We are uniquely qualified to host the inaugural women's parallel parking event because parking in Los Angeles is so difficult," said California Governor Gavin Newsom. Quote, "Don't worry, I'll have all the homeless people's feces removed from the sidewalks before the event."
You know, if you think back on Gavin Newsom, you remember when he welcomed China into San Francisco and just cleaned up the whole place? He cleaned up California for China. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
President Xi came down. They I think literally rolled out a red carpet for him.
Yes, they did.
And they cleaned up the streets from the poo that was all over them. And you remember when the Democrats had the DNC in Chicago and they had the guard come in and protect the DNC in Chicago?
Oh, my gosh, yeah. I forgot about that one, though.
These people, they don't even, they're the biggest hypocrites. And they don't see the irony in any of this. I think the real situation here is that they do see it. They have no shame. And they think that they can explain their way out of it because they think you hate Donald Trump that much.
Yeah, that's it. That's the policy.
It's definitely getting to the point where it's very clearly a mental incapacity to be able to handle reality and such a dishonest relationship with the American people to think that you can peddle this stuff our way and we'll just be like, oh, okay, Donald Trump is stupid again and we hate him. And then you just follow along with J.B. Pritzker saying he's going to keep crime in Chicago because he doesn't want Donald Trump to come in and save the day. But they protected the DNC from Chicago with the guard? Please. Hypocrites. All right, quick break. When we come back, we'll get to what I missed in the week. There's a lot to talk about. Don't go away.
You've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine, and you could do so much with all that cash, like travel, invest it, or pay off debt, but you can't touch it unless you sell your home. But you really don't want to move. And besides, homes are sitting on the market for a long time these days. You're trapped, right? Well, not with Truehold. With Truehold, you can cash out your equity in as little as 30 days. And listen, you don't have to move. You can stay in the home you love as a renter. So that's Truehold's Sell and Stay program. You cash out your entire home's value and stay put. Truehold even covers property taxes, property insurance, and essential repairs. So imagine using that equity to travel, invest, or pay off debt and stay in your home. It's brilliant, especially in this slow market. You get an all-cash offer now by calling 1-855-300-9993. You can also visit Truehold.com, the smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
AirComfortService.com. Check them out online if you have any sort of HVAC concerns, heating, cooling, and insulation needs. Air Comfort Service, the best in the business in this area. Lots and lots of reviews online to back that up as well. I want to encourage you, if you know that you have an HVAC system concern that might involve a replacement, to hurry up and reach out to Air Comfort Service to seize upon this really great opportunity that they're offering. If you call 314-513-0091, 314-513-0091, Corey and the team at Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation want you to remember their name in your time of need with air conditioner services or an HVAC system need. They're having free estimate. They have a free estimate offer for you right now. 0% financing for up to 72 months if you have to make that replacement. That makes it a little bit more affordable, a little bit more manageable, so that you can ensure that when you go into this winter season, as we're coming out of the super hot summer season, that your HVAC system is going to continue to keep you in your comfort zone. AirComfortService.com.
Tony LaRussa here. Men, are you running out of stamina rounding third base? If so, call my friends at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. Scoring at home is important, just as important as crossing the plate with the winning run. VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon with news for listeners who, like me, want to learn more about Bitcoin. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club is coming to St. Louis later this summer. The Bitcoin Ben Crypto Clubs teach members what Bitcoin is, how to buy it, how to safely store it, and how to avoid scams. And we'll connect with others like us who want to learn more about crypto. St. Louis will be the 7th club nationwide and Ben's hometown. If you want to know more about Bitcoin, you need to know Bitcoin Ben. Learn more at bitcoinben.io. That's bitcoinben.io.
How about all text? You focus on the road.
As a passenger, you have the power to prevent an accident. There are 1,000 ways to stop a distracted driver. Choose one.
A message from CTIA.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
Officials say they had a warrant. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. This after the search of a Georgia factory where hundreds were detained yesterday, accused of working there illegally.
Federal Homeland Security authorities say 475 people were detained at a battery plant in southeast Georgia following a months-long investigation into unlawful employment practices. The arrest took place at the HLGA battery plant, which is jointly operated by electronics manufacturer LG and automaker Hyundai.
This was not a immigration operation where agents went into the premises, rounded up folks, and put them on buses.
Steve Schrank with Homeland Security Investigations says this was an investigation into workers being exploited.
Fox's Evan Brown. Officials also say some of the detainees work for subcontractors, not Hyundai. The White House emphasizing that foreign workers must have proper authorizations and enter the U.S. legally. 2 17-year-olds are now charged with murder in the death of a congressional intern in D.C. this summer, a shooting that left 2 other people injured. U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro says investigators are still seeking a 3rd juvenile suspect in the case. The 2 already arrested and charged in adult court have violent records in family court.
These young punks who are on the street with guns, shooting at each other, killing innocent people, they need to be brought into my system and not in the family court system for rehabilitation, because they've been in that system more than once.
She's calling on Congress to change D.C. laws on prosecuting juveniles. A weak jobs report could fuel a rate cut at this month's Fed meeting. Only 22,000 jobs created last month, though the president's economic team still predicts strength, expecting a boom of factories and manufacturing jobs. America is listening to Fox News.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Micro. That's pound 250, Micro.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Here comes another cool front with a reinforcement of the northwest flow. A lot of clouds around as we go through the afternoon. A little bit of sun. There'll also be a couple of rain showers late in the afternoon, 75. Some evening rain showers around up until about 8 o'clock or so. Then turning partly cloudy, 54. Saturday, sunshine, 75. Sunday, sunny, 75 again. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ring.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Happy Friday. It's 1:04. We're glad you're here. Just get that done. I guess that's just got to get edited again. I don't know what I did to that. The YouTube poll for today is about the Powerball. Are you going to buy a Powerball ticket, Ryan?
No.
Really?
I don't plan on it. If I'm at a gas station and I think about it, then I might.
I kind of feel like I need to add an addendum to today's YouTube
No,
poll.
no, you don't. You're fine.
If a show member wins the Powerball, how much should they give their castmates? 4 options: nothing, a year's salary, $500,000, or 7 figures. The addendum is you only get if you play.
No, thanks. Let's go 7 figures, Annie.
All right. I'm going to need – we'll work on a discussion here, and I'll abide by – let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. If we get 500 votes on the YouTube channel, on the YouTube poll, we have to get at least 500 votes, which is not going to happen. I will, if I win, and I'm going to spend at least $20 on a Powerball ticket tonight. I think that's 10 tries. Without checking with my husband. I will abide by whatever the vote is here. So I need 500 people here to come vote nothing.
I need people to vote
But
7 figures.
But the only thing is that the only way that you get to receive said gift if I win $1.7 billion is if you too buy at least 1 ticket.
So I have to show you my Powerball ticket.
We need to see the purchase of the ticket. We need to see pictures of the ticket before the Saturday drawing at 10 o'clock.
Wait. You have to show pictures of it now?
Yeah, I want to see it. I need to see a date on it.
Why? What do you think I'm going to go get somebody's old ticket?
In the outrageous fantasy world that we're talking about right here, right now. See, we're fighting over this, and it's
tearing us apart.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
Our bond was so close, but now I'm unsure.
I hate what this is doing to us, but go on.
You called me baby yesterday.
By accident.
Inadvertently.
And then we did it over and over on purpose.
We need to send our tickets. We need to I'll send a message to our group DM, and it's like, okay, you need to have your ticket bought by somebody, pick a time. If you want to participate, if nobody participates, that's fine. You don't have to. But I think that the minimum buy-in to win 7 figures of my money
Unbelievable.
is a $2 buy-in.
We start yesterday. We go, oh, gosh, how much would you give your coworkers? And I'm like, I don't know, a couple $100. And you're like, what a cheapskate.
You said nothing.
I said a couple $100.
No, you said nothing because you said.
Oh yeah, because I said.
You said if I gave you a couple $100, it would pale in comparison to what
That's
I won.
right.
So why would I give anything?
That's right.
That's right. Thank you.
So then you came along and you're like, oh, I would give away 6 figures to everybody. I'm so generous.
That's not.
And
I didn't
now
say
it's
that last part.
all these extra little things where you're like, oh, you got to have a buy-in. You got to show me a picture of it because I want to make sure that I'm getting mine.
Ethan.
That's what it sounds like.
I need rational thought and opinion to come join this conversation.
It's already here.
That specifically detests you.
No.
Brad, isn't it fair to say that you need to show that you got a little, like a $2 skin in the game?
1,000%. Like, what Ryan is proposing here is like, I don't want to buy a ticket. I just want you to give me money should you win.
Yeah, he's a Democrat.
And then I have no risk of my own in this.
You're just like Kamala Harris through and through. I always knew it.
I'm an investor.
Like
No,
I'm
you're not.
And
You're
I'm
a
making
leech.
a good investment.
You're a leech. You're a mooch.
If somebody's going to give me a bunch of free money, I'm going to say, okay.
Get an Obama phone while you're at it.
Heck yeah, I
I'm
would.
going to give you a rotary phone.
Don't give me some rotary phone.
With a picture of
I
Obama
want
on
the
it.
money. I want your
That's
money.
what I want.
What's going to cost you $2 to buy in?
At minimum.
Fine. I'll buy in. If that's what it's going to take to win all that money.
Set a time when we need to have our tickets purchased by. I guess it would be like, I think the drawing ends at 9:00 on Saturday.
Okay.
No, that's not true. The drawing happens at 10:00 on Saturday. 9:00 is the last time you can purchase. That's when purchasing tickets for the drawing closes at 9, our time, Central.
Is that 9 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay.
It'd be kind of silly to miss
Yeah.
the whole day of people buying tickets.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
Don't look forlorn.
So sad now. I thought I had.
That is the dumbest sadness that's ever
I
happened.
thought I had beat this question.
You beat out. What is your answer to this? If
It
a
was
show member
7
wins
figures.
the Powerball, what should they give their castmates? You're voting 7 figures and not participating?
Yes.
Bull
that was
crap.
the whole point.
No, not
Yeah.
allowed.
Yeah, that's
no, that's
called.
fine. Actually, that's fine. That's fine. Done. Don't participate. Vote 7 figures. Get us to 500, and then I will give Brad and Ethan half of yours.
Oh, I'm in.
There you go.
That's incredibly fair.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
If you don't buy a ticket, and let's say I win, what is it? 1 point. It's probably going to be $2 billion by the time it wraps up here. And I win, which maybe would shake out to the actual lump sum being close to $1 billion, which is outrageous. I win $1 billion, and because you wouldn't invest $2 because you wanted to participate in a 1 p.m. Friday afternoon bit. I'm calling you out. Then you can sit here and watch Brad get 1.5 mil, and Ethan, I'm going to give him, I'll give him 1.5 mil too. And then they'll just be millionaires, and you'll be like, I should have spent $2, but I was too committed to the bit.
Okay, fine. My voice does sound like that, but guess what? I'm going to come out
I should
the
do
winner.
my communist
No.
voice for that because that's what you feel like right now.
I'm
not
gonna
going to participate.
I can guarantee you right now that I am still playing the odds. You are not going to win the Powerball, and yet I am going to come out a winner for making a great bit out of this 110 segment on Friday. I'm a win-win no matter what here. And I'm just playing it like an investor.
Wouldn't there be just a fraction of a percent worried that I would win and you would not participate?
I am worried to the percentage that you have of Powerball tickets out of all Powerball tickets that exist.
It's 1 in 300 million.
That's
chance to win
my
it.
concern.
It was 1 in 292 million.
I think
it's probably gonna.
I think that the arrogance of Ryan right now is like, yeah, I'm not even worried about it. Is the perfect irony for Annie to actually win $1 billion.
And per usual, Scooter hits the nail on the head once again. Ryan only wins when he gets nothing.
What does that mean?
That's like Socrates right there, buddy.
That doesn't mean anything.
That's it. That's your whole philosophy on the show.
I only win when I win nothing?
Ryan only wins when he gets nothing. We're not going to talk about it anymore. You need to let it sink in.
No.
Scooter sage bits of wisdom. He's exactly right.
It's just a bunch of bull. It doesn't mean anything.
Ron says I should give Ethan Ryan's share. I'm going to split it between Brad and Ethan. Maybe I'll give it to Trisha because she's not in this. Maybe you can maybe I'll make you give it to her with a big check.
I can tell you one thing. If you win the Powerball,
yeah,
a lot of what's happening right now is going to become millions of viral clips.
Yeah, I know.
So
That's what I'm really invested in. I'm invested in this $200 I'm going to make on YouTube.
Say on
I just want that back.
My YouTube shorts make like 45 cents or something like that. This one's going to be in the hundreds.
Yeah.
Of
And as long as I can get a
dollars.
cut of that, because
No.
I participated in that,
No.
I'm going to buy a ticket now just to show you. And then if I win, I'm voting nothing.
1,000%.
Yeah, you guys have to determine if you want to abide by the rules. I'm not saying that anybody else has to in our fantasy land here. We need to know what you think. How would you deal with winning the Powerball? And I mean, everybody's coworkers, we have obviously, our job is to sit and talk to each other every day. That's not the way everybody is with their coworkers. But what do you do in a situation where you put yourself in the framework? And this is the joy. When you're paying $10, $20, $2 to buy your favorite 6 numbers in the Powerball, you're paying, that is a ticket that gets you the joy of a fantasy that you get to live out for however much time you buy that ticket before the drawing. And then you're like, God dang it, I wasted that money. And that joy is immediately ripped from your soul.
I'm going to the gas station by your house, I'm buying one ticket, and I'm skipping down the road to your house singing, I got a golden ticket.
Before the drawing?
After.
There's no shoulders on the road where I live right now. That's going to be pretty dangerous. Let's get to what I missed here before we wrap up this segment.
What did I miss?
What did I miss?
All right.
No, I just closed something. Go on.
All right. These are the clips of the week that I have pulled, some that Annie have sent me that Annie may have missed or just didn't make it throughout the rest of the show because the flow of the show didn't go that way. The very first clip was something that Donald Trump posted this weekend, or the White House posted this weekend, and it was Donald Trump's 11 rules for life. And
this is long.
Yeah. But it's so good. So he gives 11 rules here, and I just wanted to get you guys your thoughts on what these rules were.
He gives them audio. He says them.
Let me share some of the biggest lessons I've learned from a lifetime spent building dreams. First, if you think that you're too young to do something great, let me tell you that you are wrong. You're not too young. In America, with drive and ambition, young people can do anything. Second of all, and very importantly, you have to love what you do. I rarely see somebody that's successful that doesn't love what he or she does. Third thing is to think big. You know, you're going to do something, you might as well think big, because it's just as hard to solve a small problem as a big problem, and it's just as much energy and everything else, except the result is going to be a smaller one. So love what you do, but think big. Fourth is work hard. Work hard. Fifth is don't lose your momentum. You just want to keep it going, and you have to know if you are losing it, you have to know when you're losing it, so maybe you stop, and maybe it's time to stop. Number 6, if you want to change the world, you have to have the courage to be an outsider. In other words, you have to take certain risks and do things a little bit differently. Otherwise, if that weren't the case, everybody would be successful. Number 7 is to trust your instincts, common sense. You can go very far in life with common sense. 8, everybody should believe in the American dream. It's real, it's there, and it's right before you. 9th, think of yourself as a winner. The power of positive thinking. In recent years, too many of our young people have really been taught to think of themselves as victims. But in America, we reject that idea that anyone is born a victim. Our heroes are the ones who take charge of their own destiny despite the odds. And next is to be an original. The all-time greats were people who had the confidence to be a little different. God only created one of you, so don't try to be someone else. Finally, and most importantly, never, ever give up. I've learned that perseverance is everything, so whatever happens, no matter where you are in life, stay optimistic and just keep pushing forward. Never let anyone tell you that something is impossible. Ever, ever, ever. In America, the impossible is what we all do best.
President Trump giving his 11 life lessons. You have to turn your mic.
11 lessons for life. So either you're not too young to have success, you love what you do, think big, work hard, don't lose momentum, be willing to be an outsider, trust your instinct, love the American dream, think like a winner, be an original, and the last one is probably my favorite one, never, ever, ever give up. And I heard these over the weekend, and you sent them to me to pull, and I just thought these were great lessons, great ways.
Is it a college commencement speech or something like that?
Yeah.
Was it maybe for like a military institute or something?
Yeah. And I think like if more Americans took that advice, because it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, if you look at those and you apply those truths to your life or those lessons to your life, you're going to have success more often than not. And I like whenever I hear stuff like that, especially coming from our leadership.
What if you only do one of them? And it's never give up, but you're doing stupid stuff. Still apply?
I don't know. How's it worked out for you?
Bad. Well, I don't know. I'm here, I'm still here.
I enjoy your company, Ryan.
Here I am about to win an Odyssey Award.
Don't say it about. Don't talk
Oh,
about
okay.
it in the
I
air.
won't say it. That's a private matter.
You want to do the next one?
Yeah. So this was this is
what pisses me off so much.
This is 2 clips, and I actually not met Tim Kaine. I almost ran into Tim Kaine whenever I was at the Capitol.
Yeah, he does. I didn't think about that.
He always is smiling, but it's not a smile that makes me comfortable. How else to say it?
That's a great point.
Yeah, that smile looks like it was carved.
You want to know how I got these scars? It was the DNC.
This video is about
2015.
Where do
Hillary
we get...
Clinton knocked on my door. I was scared.
She was like, "Why so angry?"
You want to lose to Donald Trump with me? Let's go.
Yeah. So this is about where your rights come from.
The notion that rights don't come from laws and don't come from the government, but come from the creator, that's what the Iranian government believes. So the statement that our rights do not come from our laws or our governments is extremely troubling.
So Senator Kaine said in this hearing that he found it a radical and dangerous notion that you would say our rights came from God and not from government. I just walked into the hearing as he was saying that, and I almost fell out of my chair. Because that radical and dangerous notion, in his words, is literally the founding principle upon which the United States of America was created. And if you do not believe me, and you made reference to this, Mr. Barnes, then you can believe perhaps the most prominent Virginian to ever serve, Thomas Jefferson, who wrote in the Declaration of Independence, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator, not by government, not by the Democratic National Committee, but by God."
The reason this clip hits hard is because whenever you have a government that is giving you your rights, your government can also take them away. And thank God for people like Ted Cruz who were there to call that out immediately. But this is why the Democrat Party's in such a tailspin.
They don't know what they
don't know what they believe.
They don't know what the country's founded on. That's literally from the U.S. Declaration of Independence.
The only thing they know is what they hate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it drives everything they do.
You know what? Just really quick. I pulled this up when we were talking about the Democrats going after religion. Did you see Tulsi Gabbard post this earlier this week after the Minnesota shooter about God? She said, and she's addressing people like Jacob Fry and Jen Psaki who were like, look, why are you praying in a time like this? She's saying that. So she says, God is love. The very essence of God is love. Therefore, during times of hardship, sadness, pain, and suffering, we naturally and spontaneously take refuge in him. So why is it that people like Jen Psaki and others, and I would add Tim Kaine based on that clip, have such a spontaneous, visceral, negative reaction to those who are praying to God for refuge, strength, and for the well-being of the victims of this heinous attack? Because they do not believe in God or his love. Their response is rooted in their hatred of God.
Mm-hmm.
That's from Tulsi Gabbard. And I thought that was fantastic in not only analyzing that moment with that Minnesota shooter, but in getting to the root of many, many beliefs in this country now that have zero belief in God, and so they don't get it when people pray. And they don't get why our Declaration of Independence would say that rights come from your creator.
Isn't it interesting, though, when a few of them flip and they very clearly have their eyes wide open? And it's just like, oh, okay. Go vote in the YouTube poll. We'll be right back.
Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. The river running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good.
Home Shield Foundation Repair. They come to your home, they come to your business, industrial or residential, all of it they can handle. You call Home Shield Foundation Repair to look at the cracked concrete that is now shifted, become uneven. It's getting worse. The crack has grown. And you know you've got to fix this problem before something really bad happens. You don't want to have a liability. It's ugly. It's just kind of degrading of the landscape that you have around there, and you want to get it fixed, but you don't want it to cost an arm and a leg. The cost-effective solution is polyjacking. That takes a polyurethane foam, injects it under the concrete, raises it up, levels it out, and does so way, way, way more effectively in the cost department than ripping out that concrete and replacing it, certainly. Matt Hayes, who owns and operates this business right here from St. Louis, is available at 314-227-9636. 314-227-9636. You can find him online as well and learn about all the services they provide, but if you're looking to level out that concrete and do it in a cost-effective way that you can trust, you got to call Matt Hayes. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Are you nearing retirement and don't know if you have enough money saved to retire? That is scary. Do you have a written retirement financial plan in place? Well, when it comes to retirement planning, the trusted team at Financial and Tax Architects are the best. They've helped people all over St. Louis retire with confidence. And that's what you want. You want to retire with confidence. Now, they offer a one-night, 2.5-hour adult education class called Retirement Planning 101. They hold these at colleges over the St. Louis area and in Illinois. No cost, no obligation, just learning. And at this class, you learn how to avoid costly mistakes, how to maximize your income, how to reduce taxes in retirement. So call them today, 314-888-5101, or visit fta-ria.com and take the first step toward a smarter retirement. 314-888-5101.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Now, back to the Annie Fry Show. Real talk for real people. 97.1 FM Talk.
Check it out.
Sports and local.
Tickle Me Ethan's frothy news puddle.
I do not like that.
No, yes, I thought you loved that one.
No.
Oh,
I was mistaken.
Something about the combination of tickling and
No.
a puddle makes me nervous.
Oh, man. I wouldn't have played that. Can't put the genie back in the bottle, though.
As if you've ever tried.
I wouldn't know. Never had a genie.
Yeah. At least it's never been done here before.
Tell you
At least
what.
when Ryan Wiggins is involved.
I don't know if this is going to come up in your segment at all. I would wish for unlimited wishes right away.
Sports and local.
Why would that come up in my segment?
Sports and local. Genie.
Sports and
get back in there.
local. Nearly, or 20, excuse me, not nearly, nearby residents in St. Peter's, it's been reported by neighbors that they saw 20 people arrested at a home during an ICE raid. So I guess.
Single home?
Yeah, single home.
20 people in one house.
Yeah.
2 people are facing federal charges after officials with ICE and the FBI raided a home in St. Peter's and a St. Charles restaurant on this past Tuesday. This was reported by KSDK, who obtained documents from the Eastern District Court of Missouri detailing charges for 2 people arrested in the raid, identified as Di Jin Ye and Gua Leng Ye. Can you understand why I sighed
Was
before?
Ye part of the name or your addendum?
No, Ye is part of the
You
name.
weren't cheering.
Like Kanye?
Yes. There you go.
St. Charles.
Both are.
Didn't have pegged for that. Go on.
Not necessarily the most diverse area in the world. Both are facing charges relating to the illegal concealment, harboring, and shielding of immigrants from federal detection. The charges carry a potential penalty of up to 10 years in prison and or a fine of $250,000.
Ethan, were these Chinese nationals? I mean, real question.
That I do not have an answer to. What I can tell you is that they were Guo Lang Ye is also listed as the manager of the Golden Apple Buffet in St. Charles, which is about 10 minutes away from St. Peter's where they lived. And one witness said a group of employees would come to work in a van that was constantly parked outside of that St. Peter's home. The buffet had its grand opening in May, but it's now closed, and a sign on the door reads closed until further notice.
That's wild. That's like, so it's two people and they had them in their house, and then they would put them in a van, take them to work, then put them back in the van and take them home.
Yeah, I've read national stories, and I've actually talked to local law enforcement who say that is very common, that those houses, I don't know about the work part, but that the houses that have like a pinpoint person, like a key person here, would be like your anchor person, and they bring in a lot of illegal immigrants into one house, and then you have your one person who kind of does the business for you, and the other people are basically just almost slaves in the house. And I've also heard from the local people I've talked to that there is a lot of sexual abuse internally in those situations because the people in them know they can't get out. So they don't really question it because they know if they leave, they're here illegally. So they kind of they can do whatever they want to them. Is
It's
basically
slavery.
Yes.
The most disturbing part about
that was in St. Charles.
That's the most disturbing part about this is because we are so far away from either border, it's easy to think like, yes, you know this occurs, but you don't feel like it is in your communities. It is in our communities, and it's just scary. It's scary to think about. Moving on to a little more of a lighthearted subject, things coming up in St. Louis. I know that there is a lot of people that have been looking forward to the Enjoy Illinois 300 race just across the river in Illinois coming up here over the weekend. Brad, you're going, correct?
Yeah, I'm going.
Going to go and get some press access?
Yeah, I'm going to pick up my press passes tonight after the show, and then I'll be there all day tomorrow and all day Sunday.
That's awesome. Hope you have a good time. The Raceway has drawn sold-out crowds of more than 57,000 fans for the main event in each of the last 3 years, and it seems like they're going to have some pretty cool things going on all weekend over at the track,
Wayno's going to be there,
including Adam Wainwright. He is going to be performing. But listen, as much as I love Wayno, I think I'm even more excited at the thought that Lil Jon is going to be performing. Lil Jon,
Little
not
John.
Little John. Lil Jon.
That's the Midwestern.
Yeah.
Little
John.
Not Little John.
That's
Lil
John with an
From
H.
Robin Hood.
Ooh, lovely.
Ooh, Little John from Robin Hood's going to be there along with Adam Wainwright.
He kind of looks like a bear.
He walks on all fours.
Wait, no, that's just a real bear. Everybody scatters.
Feels like a little false advertising. But I dig it.
But just to clarify, you're not going to see Little John, the one that walks on all fours at the NASCAR event. You're going to see Lil Jon, the singer, the rapper. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That one. There's all kinds of events going on over the weekend. It starts on actually Thursday night. Ballpark Village is going to be hosting NASCAR Fan Fest. There's going to be games, giveaways, show cars, music. And then on Friday is when you can see Lil Jon at 5:30 perform. And then he's going to, I believe, be followed by Adam Wainwright, a couple of other people performing as well.
Yeah.
What?
Real question. You see a bear walking around an event like this, but he's wearing a hat.
Can you read Captain Planet's
You lose your mind, or you try to pet it? You running?
I think, could you argue that losing your mind would be petting it?
Somebody's walking
both.
behind it playing a lyre like this, though.
What if someone has
Can you
Has them-
read Captain Planet's
Oh, yeah. Hang on a second.
comment right there?
All right. Captain Planet says, okay.
No.
It's like, what comment?
I'm not really sure why that matters.
Actually, that's probably how Little John says that.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
I genuinely did not know what you were
I had
doing.
nothing.
Like, it just says okay with lots of Y's.
Midwest Little John.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Yes.
There's a bear. Ah, wait, he's wearing a hat.
Okay. Okay. And that's all at the Enjoy Illinois Fest this weekend, huh? Thanks, Ethan.
No, I'm telling you, that Little John won't be there. Lil John will be there.
I bet he gets that a lot.
Hey, are you there? No.
I bet he's never gotten that in his life.
I thought you were supposed to be on all fours.
Wait, are you that bear from Robin Hood? No? Oh, no. What did we drove 2 hours.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 39 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Today's YouTube live chat poll is, would you pet a bear if it had a hat? And
what?
What? What? Okay.
What?
If a show member wins the Powerball, do you need to know this? You should know this. If a show member wins the Powerball, how much should they give their castmates for doing great segments like that? Would it start for you at 7 figures or would it be higher? That's the question we're asking you today in the YouTube live chat poll. 135. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
25 years strong. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Lately, I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Yeah, we'll be counting stars.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. You heard the man. You got to go vote in today's YouTube live chat poll. What should we do within the show if one of us wins the Powerball? I'm also curious how many of you folks are actually playing the Powerball this weekend. Does your wife have any, does she pay attention to the Powerball or anything? Is she more likely to come up to you and be like, hey, we should get a ticket?
No, she's never even heard of the lottery.
What?
Whenever we, at Christmas, we do get scratch-offs, though, for each other. and we kind of go around. That's the only time we play the lottery all year.
When you say for each other, who gets them for whom?
Well, my dad usually gets them for everybody, but I'll buy them once in a while. I'll buy them for a person or two as well.
You ever play white elephant gift exchanges
Yeah.
at holidays or whatever?
Yep.
So, in the past, who are you looking at? Someone's got food out there, right? You saw food.
Ethan's just standing there eating it, looking at me. He's showing me his superiority to me.
Ryan just exclaimed more glee over food that Ethan was holding than he did yesterday about Playboy Jenny McCarthy.
Now he's in the studio eating it.
Yeah.
He's just standing there eating. He's not participating in the segment at all.
What do you got? They always have staff meetings here during the noon hour.
Yeah,
They're
they
like,
do.
well,
We get kind of jerked around.
no, we don't. We get to not have to go to the staff
Yeah, but
meeting.
then he's got all these chips and stuff.
He's just going to sit in here and eat it next to you. That's my favorite.
This is correct.
Just don't eat it in the microphone. I'll have
It's
to
really
keep you
good.
out.
Steak and cheese sandwich.
Steak and
Ooh,
cheese
boy.
sandwich.
Yeah, there's only one left. It'll probably be gone pretty soon.
That's probably true.
I forgot
What
I
were
was
you
talking
saying?
about. I don't know. What
You were
we
talking about the lottery.
Oh, I was saying about white elephant gifts. Sometimes you participate in those. You got to always kind of know what how
Gotta read the room.
how classy is this thing going to be, because it might be one where you're like, oh, I'll bring a bottle of whiskey and put it in there, or maybe you bring in like a half-used roll of toilet paper. You don't want to get those mixed up.
Right.
Jared and I would bring really crappy gifts, and we would hide lottery tickets in them. So somebody would get stuck with it, and then they'd have like 10 scratcher tickets in it, and they wouldn't know it till the end. We wouldn't tell you.
That's a good idea.
It's fun.
What was the crappy gift? Like, was it really crappy? Disgusting.
No.
Like here's a bucket of barf.
Like so.
No.
No.
You gotta dig through that.
That wasn't it. Like a
Hey, look,
like
a
a really
scratcher's
like a
ticket.
really like
Collected it from over the year.
stupid book or something like that
Ah.
nobody wants, and you open it like, oh wow,
And
thanks.
people react.
And nobody's
This
gonna
book is stupid.
Nobody's gonna steal it.
I hate this book and this gift. Wait, there's something in it.
You ever bought someone a lottery ticket and they won a lot of money with the lottery ticket you bought?
No.
Would you be mad?
Yep.
I'd be mad if I did that. I'd be like, why did I do that? I should have just given them $20 or whatever the lottery tickets, and then I should have scratched them.
Right. Yeah. Here's a book you'll hate, and here's $10.
What do you do in the instance if you gave us all, I don't know, let's say we spend $50 on Christmas gifts for each other. If you bought $50 of lottery tickets for each of us, I know you don't spend that on me. What's a case of root beer go for?
You'd be surprised.
$6.
You'd be surprised.
What's a case of expired root
Depends
beer?
if it's expired or not.
Yeah.
And you will be surprised.
Yeah, I will, I'm sure.
This coming Christmas.
If we won, let's say at least four figures, you win $1,000 on one of those tickets. You buy $150 worth of lottery tickets. There's going to be some winning in there somewhere. Might be $20, but it could be more than that. Do you feel entitled to that? Is there any part of you that could watch somebody else win on a lottery ticket and not think like, well, they got to at least pay me back for the ticket, right?
To me, we live in entitlement culture, and so I would never feel entitled. I would ask regularly
that's actually
for the
the
money.
exact opposite of.
I would lead with, look, we live in entitlement culture, and I hate it, and the welfare state needs to go. However, I need
As one
that
final
$100 back.
act of entitlement. Right.
But the Bible says, when in Rome.
Don't you-
We need to change.
Don't you
But we're
really
gonna
think though
change
that
after.
if you gave someone a lottery ticket and they won $1,000, like who would not be like, you're going to give me some of that, right?
Yeah.
And then can it truly be a gift?
I don't know. That's why you don't scratch it with the person in the room or pretend you lost.
What if somebody wins? If you buy us all each $50 worth of lottery tickets, if I win $1,000, do you want to know that I won it?
Not really.
I know, right?
I'd be like, yeah, I'd scratch that thing off and be like, whoa, that's $20,000. I'm going to say that it's a free ticket.
I mean, it is. You could buy another free ticket with it.
True.
But you guys are just buying these tickets with the hope that they don't win then?
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
I'd rather just have the $50 at that point.
That's what I said.
And a
Like,
crappy book.
Yes.
Some stupid book.
That's my point. Like, I don't, other than those scratcher tickets, which, there's a possibility I think you could win maybe up to maybe $25,000. But most of those tickets, you get a free ticket out of them if you win anything.
What drives me crazy about scratchers is it used to be that you go and get $1, $2 tickets. Now it's like, well, if you really want to play, though, why don't you drop $50 on one ticket?
Mm-hmm.
And I know people who do that, And it is fun to watch them do it because they did kind of invest, and they'll buy a few of them at a time. And I'm like, wow, you are really living on the edge, my friend. And then if they don't win, though, you're like, I'm smarter.
Okay, Stim says, what if in regards to our poll, if a show member wins the Powerball, how much should we give our castmates? So if I win I think it's at $1.7 billion now. I think it'll be over 2 by Saturday. If I win, what should I give you 3 folks in here? Nothing, a year's salary, $500,000 or 7 figures. Stim says, what if the winner offers you loans of $250,000 to pay off mortgages with a loan at 1%? That's like the Scroogiest thing I've ever heard.
No, that's a good rate.
Sounds like something you would do. Here's what we're going to do. And then I'm beholden to you paying you back a loan?
Yeah, but it's such a good rate.
What you do
is a
is
savings.
you take that $250,000, you don't put it on your mortgage, you invest it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're going to make more than 1% back on your investment, right?
I think that's where the charity aspect comes in, is that you're giving somebody a really low interest loan. You're still making some money back, but it's not as much as you could have made
That's
back.
worse than nothing.
I don't know. I think I'd still take it. It is a weird way to hand out that gift, though.
Ethan, do you have any strong thoughts about, first of all, did you hear us say that in order to, I said if I get 500 votes on this poll, which we won't get 5, that's like twice what we normally get.
You got to believe.
If we get 500 votes in this poll, I will abide by what wins if I win the Powerball.
500. Well, we are
You've
on pace for it.
You've got that long to
144
create
votes.
449 more.
Listen
What
up.
will you do
Gmail
if you don't get 500?
Whatever I want.
Oh.
Not looking good
What do
for
you think she wants? What do you think she wants?
I think that she set up this question with the facade that she was going to give us a lot of money if she wins the Powerball.
She said
and
that
now
yesterday.
put new terms on it that we have to get to 500.
I think it's a really smart plan for you to besmirch my character for the next 24 hours as much as you possibly can. Go on.
All I know is we need 354 more votes. Get to work,
I like
you
that
listeners.
I like that Ryan's complaining about stipulations to money that he hasn't won yet.
That nobody's going
I
to
won't
win.
even. I will never win it. I might be the recipient downstream of her winning it.
Are you going to buy a ticket? Ethan, we said that in order to receive, you have to participate. Like, you have to get a ticket.
How much are tickets?
$2.
Oh,
for
yes.
one 6-number
course.
ticket.
Take my $2.
The catch is you got to go to a gas station.
No, you don't. You can buy it online.
Oh, never mind. I'm out.
I know. Like
I wanna-
between now and 9 tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
You got to
That
stop
was not
somewhere.
in the plans for my Friday.
Do you
night.
have a strong opinion on? I mean, we're talking money that is funny money. You're probably walking away with a lump sum of $1 billion or
After
somewhere in
tax?
there. Yes, because it's at 1.7 now, and it'll continue to grow up until
Yeah.
9 o'clock tomorrow night.
That's stupid money.
It's stupid money.
Come on. I feel like here's the. This is really hard.
David says Annie is mentally picturing her custom-built home and pool and bunker.
Here's
I have like a dream board. There, David.
Here's my question. Now, you have to take into consideration that we are the ones that are discussing this, that this is the agreement, but how many people are you putting ahead of the people in this room that you would give money to also? Like, how far on the list down are the people in this room?
Let's just say there are 4 people in this room. So we're talking about adding 3 people to our winnings. There are 97 other people I could put before here that could all get $1 million, and I still have $900 million.
Yeah, but
Funny money.
That's money that you could have. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so you're kind of like, okay, regardless, that part doesn't change anything. Then I'm probably gonna do 7 figures.
What? Yeah. What?
Ryan, why are you the worst?
It's $1 billion.
Why wouldn't you give away that money? You're going to have so much money. All you're losing is like a
You
double.
have to participate in this as well. You
Annie,
can't
you
do.
could buy the city of Edwardsville with this money. Just buy the whole city.
We're changing this to Anniesville.
It's mine. It's Annieville.
Yeah. Annieville horror.
Wait, what?
Just Ryan's existence.
So what? You don't have your double-decker Jaguar that you were going to get.
You
I don't want
definitely
one
could
of
still
those.
get that.
I don't.
Pretty cool, actually.
Your friends are even more indebted to you.
No,
Emotionally.
even more.
Emotionally.
Even
emotionally,
more. Even more.
Emotionally.
What?
And then people aren't asking you to borrow money all the time like they do now because they have money. I think this solves a lot of your problems.
I don't understand anything that you're saying. It's not making any sense to me. All right, we got to get to 500 votes. I'm going to die when it's 500 votes and they vote nothing.
Oh, I will too. I'll die inside.
Can we give a little sneak peek? Nothing's in the mix. It's in the mix. That's all I'll say. It's in the mix.
That's terrible. You're terrible.
You won't even participate.
This is extremely close. All four of these.
I like it. All right, let's take a quick break. Go vote. Let us know if one of us wins the Powerball, how much should they give their castmates? Nothing, a year's salary, $500,000, or 7 figures. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Stewart's American Mortgage. That's not something you're going to need if you win the Powerball. Screw the mortgage, bagel loan. I do currently need a bagel loan for the new house I want to get because I'm going to want to pay $0 in closing costs. So for the mere mortals among us, me, a 2-time user of the bagel loan, you want a mortgage that gets you the lowest rate that you can qualify for. You can get that with Stewie. You want to be able to close super fast, less than 2 weeks. You can get that with Stewie. But the bagel loan, only at Stewart's American Mortgage, comes with no dollars in closing costs. He eats all the closing costs for you, so you don't have to pay for them. And that's why he's the best deal in town, especially with the customer service you get from working directly with Stewie. When you call, you can text as well, 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. That's a direct line into Stuart Rosenblum at Stewart's American Mortgage. You're going to talk to him about what you're trying to achieve. You can tell him the timeline you're trying to achieve it. Maybe you just need to get a pre-approval so you can get on with the process. He's going to guide you through all of that. And remember, the bagel loan comes with no closing costs. You can Google bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Mark Cox here. Join us live Thursday, September 11th at Chicken Ellie's in Eureka as we support Focus Marines Foundation. They're helping post 9/11 veterans transition to civilian life. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Family focused, faith filled, always on point. It's the Annie Fry Show.
Mashup with some Genesis here.
So Lil. Do I.
Wait, yeah,
Lil.
which one? Lil or Little?
No
so
T's.
Okay.
No T's, no H's.
How come so many rappers are Lil? Lil Kim, remember her?
Because they're little.
Are they Lil?
She is.
Is
John
Lil Jon?
Yeah, he's not tall.
Really? Who else? There's some other Lils, aren't
Lil
there?
Baby.
Lil Baby.
Lil Yachty. Lil Peep. Lil Durk, Lil Kim, Lil Dicky, Lil Uzi Vert,
Lil Jon
Wayne,
is
Lil Wayne.
Okay, stop.
Lil Wayne's the one.
Lil Jon is 5'6".
Lil Nas X.
So he's just a little bit taller than you.
That's not true.
Or
funny.
There are more, by the way.
Powerball, according to one of our commenters here, is up to $1.8 billion. Ron reports cash value at this point in time is $826.4 million.
Yep.
Not that much.
Man.
I know, compared to 1.8 billion.
Not even a billion yet.
A billion. How crazy is it that $1 billion of that is taxed?
Well, that just goes to fund the schools.
No, that's just crazy.
for the kids, Ethan. Why do you
Yeah.
hate them?
I didn't say I hated it. I said that's crazy.
How do you fix education? The lottery. Look,
That'll
it
do
worked.
it.
That was the promise back in the 90s, and it worked.
Mm.
More money.
More
Always the solution.
More problems.
Mm-hmm.
Not by Lil Jon.
No, that's big,
Little John.
Notorious man. As far as I understand it, that's his name.
You go vote in the YouTube poll. We're trying to get to 500 votes. I'm watching. We talked a little bit about the Joe Biden story, 2 stories that are really kind of hitting and tracking right now and continue to progress forward with the AutoPen situation. AutoPen is now kind of taken the same like online character as Hillary's emails.
Yeah.
That went really fast. We talked about Hillary's emails for a really long time. People were like, oh, I guess when are we going to hear about AutoPen? Are we going to so quickly dismiss the fact that we had an absent president for 4 years?
No, AutoPen's a really easy scandal to understand. That's why it's going to stick. And that's why people all know what it is. Because you say one word and everybody gets it. That's the Biden presidency. He wasn't doing anything. He didn't know what was going on. And everybody gets it. With other scandals like Russiagate/Obamagate, I say that, and most people are going to go, well, what exactly are you talking about? And we're talking about the framing of a president of the United States by a previous president. But that's harder to dive into and explain. The AutoPen thing's not going away. It's only going to get worse. And in the public mind, it's already big.
People will talk about it as a distraction for the things that are going on in the Trump administration. Can you look objectively at what Donald Trump has done so far in these 7.5 months of being president? Can you look objectively at what he's doing and find a failure?
Yeah, I think his failure has been his messaging on the Epstein stuff. Even if he's completely exonerated from it. Yesterday or the day before, that story was in the news again because of the testimony on Capitol Hill. And he was just yelling hoax. And I'm like, dude, the whole thing isn't a hoax. These are actual victims of this.
Have you seen the James O'Keefe story about the Department of Justice employee who was O'Keefed, who sat down with a woman on a date and started saying that all the names of Republicans in the Epstein list are going to be redacted?
No, I haven't seen any of that.
Have you seen that, Brad?
No.
Really? I saw that last night.
And this was James O'Keefe, or was it somebody doing what he does?
No, it was James O'Keefe.
It was him, okay.
Yeah, kind of questionable. And how much when you see an O'Keefe investigation, how all in are you on that?
I don't know. The good part about O'Keefe investigations is that he videotapes everything. So you can watch the video for yourself.
He can also edit video.
He can, but he puts out the unredacted video. So he edits it for you to watch the quick part and get the headline. But then he puts out the full 15 minutes usually too. And the question then becomes, is the person speaking reliable, and is that information reliable? Because it's there for you to consume.
Why are people so willing to just spill their guts to a young, pretty girl? I mean, especially if you're in some of these different departments, and you're in a high-level government situation, don't you know what's going to happen here? I feel like you should know what's going to happen here. This is a Daily Mail, stupid ads all over the place. Daily Mail did a story on this. A senior Department of Justice official told an undercover journalist that the government actively worked to keep Maxwell's mouth shut. Joseph Schnitt.
Nice.
Was caught on camera making claims to a woman he met on Hinge, who actually works for the O'Keefe Media Group. In a video shared by the organization on Thursday, Schnitt tells the woman that Jeffrey Epstein's madam, who is serving a 20-year prison sentence for recruiting young girls for Epstein to sexually abuse, was moved to a minimum security prison as a part of a deal. He said, Maxwell got transferred to a minimum security prison, which is against Bureau of Prisons policy, because she's a convicted sex offender and they're not supposed to get minimum security prisons, which is an interesting detail because she's getting a benefit, which means they're, the DOJ, offering her something to keep her mouth shut. He went on to say they'll redact every Republican or conservatives person in those files. Leave all the liberal Democratic people in those files. They have a very slanted version of it come out where it's look at what's going on without seeing any of their bad behavior.
Yuck.
Schnitt is the acting deputy chief of the Special Operations Unit within the Office of Enforcement Operations, added that there is, quote, thousands and thousands of pages of files relating to Epstein.
Take them all down. You've got to expose everybody. The problem is when this stuff comes out here, it's very possible that it's true, very possible that it's false. But now everybody's questioning whether whatever we get, no matter what it is going to be the whole truth. Because it may not be.
People are saying that he's a plant on a date with a plant.
Also possible.
I'm like, yeah, also possible, but that's what I'd say.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be like, oh, obviously he knew what he was doing, right? Totally. Completely not accurate. He really got him. Ask us anything in the next hour. Next question. Next segment. Don't go away.
That baby's gone! Cardinals fans, FanDuel Sports Network is your home of the Cardinals.
That ball was mashed.
And there are more ways to watch this season.
Holy cow!
Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream the Cardinals without blackouts.
How about that play?
Or watch through a TV provider.
Incredible!
Including DirecTV, Spectrum, Xfinity, Fubo, and more.
He got it!
Learn more at cardinals.com/TV.
Ball game! It couldn't have worked out any better for the Cardinals.
If you're thinking about replacing your windows before winter hits, which is smart, don't keep making the same mistake. Stop replacing your failing vinyl windows on your home now with more vinyl. Lakeside Renovation and Design will install Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows. They're built to last, they're energy efficient, plus they look stunning, and they're custom built for your home. Installed by Lakeside's expert team, and they're going to offer a lifetime workmanship warranty. If you're ready to upgrade your windows once and for all, you need to visit windowsbylakeside.com. Schedule your free consultation today.
Hello from Pro Outdoor, your #1 irrigation and sprinkler team. Aeration and overseeding season is here to repair summer brown spots. Make sure your sprinkler system is tuned up to water in that fresh seed. We're running fall specials on aeration, overseeding, and new residential sprinkler installs within 2 weeks. Call 636-695-7800 or visit ProOutdoor.com to see all our services. That's 636-695-7800.
When we started Neovitin back in 2009, we wanted to create a multivitamin that we would take ourselves. That's why we use quality ingredients in our Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin. With over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our physician-formulated proprietary blend, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin a try for yourself. Find it at your local Schnucks, Deerbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app. Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Here comes another cool front with a reinforcement of the northwest flow. A lot of clouds around as we go through the afternoon. A little bit of sun. Will also be a couple of rain showers late in the afternoon, 75. Some evening rain showers around up until about 8 o'clock or so. Then turning partly cloudy, 54. Saturday, sunshine, 75. Sunday, sunny, 75 again. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The president's order is expected to direct the defense secretary to work on proposing legislation and executive actions. Escalating tensions in the Caribbean as the U.S. sends warplanes to Puerto Rico, adding to a buildup of forces the Trump administration says are part of a crackdown on drug cartels, including this week's deadly strike on a suspected trafficking boat from Venezuela.
Yesterday, Venezuela flew 2 military aircraft over the USS Dunham, one of several U.S. Navy assets now in the region. The Pentagon called the Venezuelan action a highly provocative move. And in an apparent response, the DoD ordered 10 F-35 fighter jets to Puerto Rico to take part in counter-narcotics operations.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt, the Defense Department also suggesting the Maduro regime is involved, warning what it calls the cartel running Venezuela not to interfere with counter-terror operations. Venezuela's leader has accused the U.S. of plotting to oust him. Deadly flooding leads to new laws in Texas.
Surrounded by parents and siblings of dozens of young girls who died at Camp Mystic in Texas, flooding in July. Governor Greg Abbott signing legislation mandating emergency preparedness, evacuation plans, and outdoor warning systems.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. The changes also mean the state can't license camps that have cabins in floodplains. America is listening to Fox News.
still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B? Yeah. Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Here comes another cool front with a reinforcement of the northwest flow. A lot of clouds around as we go through the afternoon. A little bit of sun. There'll also be a couple of rain showers late in the afternoon, 75. Some evening rain showers around up until about 8 o'clock or so. Then turning partly cloudy, 54. Saturday, sunshine, 75. Sunday, sunny, 75 again. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get not just your AC, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the preferred partner plan, and stay cool this summer. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
They got someone here knows what they're talking about.
Left up, left right, gotta love this American ride.
Hey, you need to take some time to get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Happy Friday. Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. It's Powerball weekend. Are you buying a ticket? Most of us on the show are, and we are asking you on the YouTube poll, if a show member wins the Powerball, how much should they give their castmates? Nothing, a year's salary, $500,000, or 7 figures. You can go vote right now. Watching as I see reports that suggest that Trump, he's always said, it always seemed like Friday was going to be the day that he sent the National Guard into Chicago.
It did?
Didn't they say it by Friday? I saw a lot of people saying, it'll probably happen by Friday. Today, Pritzker, he continues to, he's just being so political and surface about all of this. Like, there's no actual discussion of what problem are we pretending even that we're trying to solve here. It's just Pritzker versus Trump. Fox News reports Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker appeared Thursday on journalist Katie Couric's YouTube channel. That's a story in and of itself, defending Chicago's crime statistics as President Donald Trump vowed to send the National Guard to the city to curb violence. Pritzker said Chicago's homicide rate has been cut in half over the last 4 years, crediting a mix of policing initiatives and state investments in community programs. He said, quote, "It's not just in police. I've invested significantly in police, but we've also made massive investments in community violence intervention. Those programs are working. We're doing more than any other state in that regard, and it's working on the streets of Chicago." The only person saying that in Chicago is J.B. Pritzker, or maybe Brandon Johnson as well. There are no people, there are no non-politicians out, the people who aren't like advocating for a political win out there, just very brazenly talking about specifically the crime-ridden areas of Chicago. I mean, like, if you make Region A safe, but Region D of Chicago is the murder capital of the world, you're not a safe space. And the other question I have is, who lives in the safe spaces and who doesn't? How does Pritzker get away with that? It's every time I see Pritzker talking, he's not really actually working to make Chicago, and even let's say he has made it safer, and as we have discussed earlier on the show and heard a lot of people discussing on the issue nationally, like let's talk about the actual crime statistics. We know in D.C. that if they came upon some sort of death, that it could be ruled an accident or it could be ruled a homicide. If they didn't have much to go on, they would sometimes rule even things to that extent a more politically friendly result for the purpose of making crime statistics look like they were going down. Pritzker went on Couric's YouTube channel to say he doesn't really understand anything. He just has some idea in his head that Chicago is bad. He always has had that, by the way. Why would he invest in putting a very beautiful and tall hotel of his in Chicago if he had nothing good to say about it? And I would say Donald Trump has said very flattering things about Chicago. Actually saying it's worth reviving.
Well, vice versa. Let's say he goes and solves the problem. They're going to go, well, it's just to protect his building and his assets. That's what will happen.
The Magnificent Mile used to have 1,600 business licenses on it. It currently has 784.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's hard stats right there.
Well, and how can you argue against that, Pritzker? People don't feel safe there. We've seen all the videos of people looting. They just raid the store, and why would anybody, who are the 784 who are like, I'm good?
I mean, that's legacy business. They're not adding new. That's the thing. Again, we've said this before. Magnificent Mile is beautiful. It is such a nice place. And those big high-rise apartments and stuff, man, to live there, it actually looks like it would be really fun if the city were
safe,
thriving.
Yeah.
And it's not. I have a lot of friends and family that live in Chicago. They're 100% Democrats, as far as I know, unless somebody's a closet Republican now in the last few years.
Do they think it's safe?
Not a single one of them would agree with Pritzker on this issue. Now, they're not going to openly yell it from the rooftops, but Pritzker, politically alone, put the actual issue aside. Politically, he is missing the target here badly for himself because his own constituents aren't looking at this and going, yeah, I really side with the governor here. This is going to drive my turnout to the polls next year.
He says, I also think I live rent-free in the guy's head. So he constantly thinks about, how do I tax Chicago? And, oh, yeah, I hate Pritzker guy, too.
It's like he learned a new phrase with the rent-free thing, and he just keeps using it.
He doesn't want to give his starfish pin to Donald Trump.
Ooh, that's below the belt, though.
I think that's the point.
Senator Lujan would approve.
Trump said in a Truth Social post on Tuesday, quote, at least 54 people were shot in Chicago over the weekend. 8 people were killed. Pritzker needs help badly. He just doesn't know it yet. I will solve the crime problem fast, just like I did in D.C. Chicago will be safe again and soon make America great again. He went on to say, and we heard him say this from the Oval Office, if the governor of Illinois would call me up, I would love to do it. Now we're going to do it anyway. We have the right to do it because I have an obligation to protect this country. Is that correct?
Yes.
There are people who said, after the Los Angeles Gavin Newsom National Guard conversation, who has rights to do what? Gavin Newsom sues Donald Trump, loses. There were a lot of people who were saying, listen, the next time a blue city in a blue state is showing their rear end to the world because they think that Donald Trump is evil incarnate and they're like, don't come here and help us. We don't want it. We don't want it. They were begging Donald Trump to wait and make those places beg for help. Like the next time someone decides, because Los Angeles, they were trying to burn that city down. And Donald Trump was like, no, we're not going to do that. They're protesting ICE. They were assaulting ICE officials. They were rioting and so on and so forth. And Donald Trump said, no, we're not going to have that in this country. We're not going to stand for that. And he stopped it from happening. And they're saying, don't go clean up these people's messes. They voted for this. Make them beg. Make them say please. I kind of understood that at the time, but I really do want the people like your family members in Chicago to understand what it's like for it to be safe in their city. I assume they know a time when it was safer than it is right now. But I would like for there to be a true, tangible understanding of you have an option. That this deterioration which really it's a mentality, isn't it? That the left is opposed to law and order because they justify the emotional state of the people who are committing the crime.
Mm-hmm.
They say that, listen, you got to understand this is the best they can do. They're oppressed. They've been marginalized. They're upset, and they have the right to be.
Yeah, and if you listen to Brandon Johnson, he's apologizing for them. I saw a clip this week from him saying, in regards to this very issue, we are for law enforcement, but we're for law enforcement and affordable housing. And like nobody's asking you that question. We're for law enforcement, but we're also for opportunity zones and all this crap that sends a message to anybody considering a crime that you can commit a crime, because the point isn't crime. It's these other factors involved that cause crime, and we want to root it out. Well, in the meantime, you're letting people loot your city, and nobody feels safe.
There's no way for me to look at what Pritzker is doing, and I feel like he's so missing the mark, because there should be obviously I understand, play politics with it. You're a politician. Okay, I get that. I don't even disrespect that. But the cost that you're asking your constituents to pay here is so enormous for your big fat ego that I feel like you're so far gone on this issue that I don't pity him at all. But I just think there's nobody in Chicago that isn't just completely driven by politics who's going, gosh, Pritzker's really in the right here.
Yeah, and we've seen this happen in L.A. a lot, too, where Trump would send the National Guard in to clean things up, and you see people on the left who are just dyed in the wool. I mean, they're part of the never going to change their mind people. And they go, where I'm at, it's fine. And they post a picture of them walking down the street, completely oblivious to the situation of others, to the stat that you just gave about the Magnificent Mile. That is a real hard stat of business lost that, hey, if you live in a nice place in Chicagoland, yeah, maybe it isn't affecting you, but it's affecting a lot of people around you.
There's no greater example of people who are privileged using the underprivileged and to keep them in a position of underprivilege in order to win a political argument. That's the worst kind of worst, folks. We'll be right back. RetirementKey.com is the website. Please consider talking to Bob and Tammy Kershaw. You can talk to them first before you decide to hire them, or maybe not to. It's up to you. Retirement is around the corner for you if you're in your late 50s, early 60s. Maybe you've even just recently retired. There's still some really, really smart moves that you need to make, and probably some dumb moves you need to not make. The Retirement Advisory Group can advise you on those. So retirementkey.com is the website where you can learn all about them. But if you call 314-993-9494, 314-993-9494, you're going to get connected directly to the folks at the Retirement Advisory Group. And you can set up an appointment with Bob and Tammy Kershaw, with Thomas Helbig, to determine where you are right now, what the timeline is to get to where you want to be, and to make sure that you aren't missing the opportunity to make these really smart moves when the time is right. Schedule your free appointment at 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. And learn more online at retirementkey.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If you've been injured in a trucking accident in St. Louis, you need attorneys who live here and work here. We know the STL and fight for the STL. You need Kaufman Townsley. Real people, real results. Call 314-500-5000.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range. It's the Annie Fry Show.
Next question. It's a legitimate question.
Next question.
Next question, please.
Next question on the Annie Fry Show.
All right, I'm eating salad from the staff meeting we didn't attend to.
Wait, is it okay if I go ahead and ask our first question then?
You're so kind.
You're welcome.
Don't ask me the question.
All right, Ethan.
Who is not in the room?
He's not in the room.
He's eating more sandwiches.
What is the farthest from home you've ever been? Start with Brad.
Ooh. I guess it would have to be Hawaii. The most southern. There's a beach that's the most southern point in the United States because Hawaii is actually south of Texas. And I went to that beach. It's just a black sand beach, and I walked into the ocean, got my feet wet there. That's the farthest from home I've ever been.
That's cool.
Mine's Hawaii, but I'm not sure which location on the island.
See, that's what I wanted, was the specific spot.
Well, Brad's better than me.
When we went to Tokyo, clearly that's the farthest I've ever been.
Is that the other side of the world?
I think China is the definition of dig
The
through
pin
the earth
through the
other
world
side.
and-
Yeah. Did you ever have your dad tell you that when you were little? Hey, start digging. You can end up in China.
I don't recall.
Oh, I know mine did.
Oh, yeah.
Brad, thank you.
Was he like making a suggestion?
Maybe. I think he actually, here's his hidden motivation, was that I would get to the mantle and just burn myself up.
What?
I look back now and I'm like, oh,
Dad.
what a jerk.
Ethan says Maui. That's his answer.
Maui?
Yeah.
So it's all Hawaii for you guys.
Yeah. Before that, mine would have been Los Angeles.
Is the only time, have you ever been out of the country?
Nope.
Still haven't, I guess.
Nope. Well, that's
Wow.
not true. We went on a cantata. You know what a cantata is?
Mm-hmm.
I was in youth group. We would go travel on a what do you call it? Not a shuttle bus. The big buses.
Horse?
A charter bus.
Oh.
Shuttle bus. No. We would go tour Lutheran churches in various areas of the country and do a church service, like a song, whatever. And one of our youth group attendees had family in Canada. It was like, I remember going through the border, and we were like, it seemed like it was like 5 minutes across the border. And I remember this one guy, I don't know why he had such an aversion to Canada, but I remember him as we were like entering Canada, he like ran to the back of the bus. He's like, I want to be the last one in Canada. I want to spend the minimal amount of time in Canada. And then when we went back into the United States, he was like standing at the front. I mean, it's a typical thing that like a high school boy does just because he got it in his head and he was going all in. So I have been in Canada in that regard, but that's it. I don't even think that counts.
Sounded like you were all in on that cantata. We'd go in a place, sing a couple songs, whatever.
We went to Wisconsin a couple times. That was awesome. We were in like the mountains in Wisconsin, and you'd stay at people's houses that were members of the church that you performed at. It was cool.
A little bit of a side journey here. Have you been to the Dells in Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Have you ever been, there's a couple locations like this, where they say it's called the Wonder Spot. Have you ever seen the Wonder Spot in the Dells or anywhere else for that matter?
No.
There's a whole backstory to it. And when I was a teenager, I was like, this is amazing. I can't believe all this. And then I find out, oh, I think that's all fake. Because there's multiple Wonder Spots. But it's like you walk into a valley and they're like, oh, it's because of the magnetic force here. It's a very unique place in nature.
What was in your sandwich?
And you walk into the house. Well, the house is built kind of crooked so that you're walking sideways. And you're like, wow, it's the magnets in the valley.
House? Is it just a fun house?
I think it's just a fun house.
It's a house built on a slope.
Next question, Brad.
What is a subtle sign that somebody was raised by good parents?
That they're kind?
Size of their bank account.
Oh, God.
Trust that they're left. You know what?
I don't know if that's a sign of that at all. Might be the opposite sometimes.
Sign they were raised by good parents. You must have an answer.
I do. No, you want me to answer now? Yeah, I it's what they're doing whenever nobody's watching that they
How do you know what they're doing if no one's watching?
When they think nobody's watching. How about that?
security
but
footage.
like whenever, yeah,
Ryan runs all over this building trying to do good deeds, sort of secretively.
hoping nobody
I'm
sees
gonna
him.
do this right now. Nobody pay attention.
Don't pay attention to me. I'm taking these sandwiches down to the street for the homeless.
Look away.
Live streaming. That's what the Democrats do.
And then I'm going to give them a shave and clean them up. And I don't want anybody to know about it.
So, yeah, it's the authentic behavior that you see when they think nobody's watching. If they, it's easy. I say easy to do the right thing when everybody's watching you. But whenever they do the right thing when nobody's watching and there's no reward outside of this is the right thing, I'm going to do it. That tells me an awful lot about how they were raised.
I'm going to say something similar, but I'm going to put it differently. Self-control. That's not necessarily when nobody's watching.
Right.
But when a kid, or adult for that matter, it's mostly with kids, because by the time you get to an adult, it's up to you. But when you have a kid that can show restraint in circumstances, because the natural bent of a kid is toward chaos. Mm-hmm. But if they can show restraint, whether it be in class or in stores or whatever, that shows to me that the parent has done a good job of raising them with some discipline.
I just think it's kindness. I think you can tell when people are actually kind for the sake of being kind versus kind because they want something. Next question. I've got one. Were you worried, anxious, unsure, whatever, about getting married?
I was not unsure at all.
How old were you?
I was 26.
How long was the engagement?
3 months. It was fast.
Boom,
yeah,
boom.
I asked, maybe it was a little bit longer. I asked in March, and we got married in August, so a little bit more than that. But it was very fast. And by the time I proposed, we were so sure that
Did
we
you
were
have a
going to get
yes?
married.
Did you know that you were going to
Yeah,
get a yes?
there was no question.
Did she help pick out the ring?
No, I designed it.
Good for you.
Yeah, I think it was at the diamond shop. We've talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was a great ring. Still have it, of course, and still love it. But we were ready to go.
Who was ready first?
I don't know. It was very rapid. We did not. So we dated when we were in college, and neither one of us were Christians. And then I became a Christian, and she did separately. I went to SIUC, and she went to Mizzou. And so that happened for us separately, and then we started talking again. And I just felt like God was saying, that's going to be your wife. And I was like, okay. And I'm very thankful that I felt that way or heard that or whatever you want to call it, because I had to wait a long time. She was not that interested in me.
That's unbelievable.
For a long time.
Just kidding.
You'd be shocked at how many people were uninterested in me in that time.
Your moves were so smooth. The guitar move?
They were. Plus, you see the way I walk when I would play it.
Ryan would get a guitar and fake tune it for like 15 minutes before he would take the stage and then not know how to play the guitar.
A lot of build-up.
All for the
No
girl.
delivery.
What about you, Brad?
No, there was no hesitation, anxiety, or anything like that, because I had to work through all of that before I even decided that I wanted to buy a ring and ask her to marry me. So that a lot of that comes from the uniqueness of the age difference between Terry and I, with her being older than me, that I had to get through all of that sort of thing before I was even ready myself to do any of that. And so by the time it came for me to propose and then for us to get married, I was ready to go. I was 100% confident in marrying her.
Jared was super not into committing until I remember, like, we were maybe days from the wedding. I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? Because he just was super. I don't think it was me, but it's just a really big commitment. He's not like a big commitment guy in the sense that he's going to throw himself into something. And we dated for 3.5 years before we were married. Started dating when I was 21, so it was post high school. Like, when you're dating someone and you're 21, if you're a marriage person and you're dating when you're 21, it has to be a part of the equation to some extent. If you're like, I'm not really sure I want to get married, then maybe it doesn't factor in as much. But I remember getting very sad and nervous about losing my name.
Ah.
It wasn't like it wasn't him at all ever. Like I've said this before. I think I knew the first time I met him that I wanted to marry him, but when it started to get real and I realized it feels like you're losing your identity because like, can you imagine being Ryan something other than Wiggins?
Nope.
So that realization, I think there's probably a lot of assumption. I don't know how much men actually think about that. Because there's an excitement to it as well. But there's also a version, like I look at my daughters and I think they're not always going to be, daughter Fry. That's kind of sad to me. So I don't know.
The only time I ever feel that level of insecurity toward commitment is when I got to pick the boneless wing flavor. Because that is tough. There's usually a lot of flavors these days. Back when I was a kid, there were very few flavors. Now there's a lot.
Next question.
If you had to leave Illinois, what state would you move to?
Florida.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Why wouldn't it be Florida?
Because your family's still here.
Then I'm in Illinois.
But your family's still in Illinois. But you personally have to leave. Not everybody has to leave.
Why do I have to leave? There's no reason why that would be the case.
There's a microwave meteor.
Well, then my family's got to leave too, and they come to
they
Florida.
don't. It's just gonna hit your house.
I just won $1 billion, and I'm buying a mansion in Florida. Not paying property taxes on it because DeSantis is taking care of that, and I'm gonna go live in freedom and sunshine.
They've discovered that it's not only gonna hit your house, but it's gonna hit you personally, no matter where you go in Illinois.
Microwave meteor.
Where are you going?
Probably Missouri, just because it's convenient.
If I got to pick up and move, man.
Florida is very attractive still. Everybody.
Here's what I'm going to do.
There.
I'm going to live in Florida, and I'm going to get a vacation house in Missouri. Wouldn't that be maybe the more affordable way to do it? Think about all the benefits. Think about all the tax benefits to living in Florida. No income tax. Missouri might do that. Property taxes, they're trying to fight that and get that to go away.
Oh, gosh, it's incredible.
I mean, Florida does make its money, a lot of it in tourism, but do that and then get a furnished, no-maintenance apartment in Missouri and come here and visit my family in the spring and fall. Done.
Okay, that sounds like it would work. Plus, you'd survive.
The microwave meteor? Brad?
If I had to move, I'm with you, Annie. I'm going to Florida. If there's nothing anchoring
Not
me,
with me. But
no,
you can go to Florida too. There's room for both of us.
You go to the Panhandle.
Terry
she
and
go to Miami.
Terry and I have already talked about this. Like, if we retire and for whatever reason the ties that are holding us here in Illinois aren't here, we're going to move to Florida because what keeps me in Illinois is A, Illinois' home, but B, like my family and my church. And if those ties get severed or broken for some reason, there's nothing keeping me here. So I'm going to head out to a place that I think that I would like to live.
Next question, Brad.
Yeah. Who is a loved actor that isn't really a good actor?
A loved actor?
Yeah, an actor that everybody
you go
loves.
First.
I'm going to say Keanu Reeves.
Actually, that's what I was going to say.
I think Keanu Reeves is a great guy, but every character that he plays is just the same guy. It's Bill, or was he's Ted? And with guns for John Wick, or with cool sunglasses for Neo, but they're all the same. They're all whoa. So
yeah, I don't have another great answer to that because that's the obvious one. Even though I like Keanu Reeves movies
for sure.
quite a bit. I like that one character. There's a lot of actors like that. I can't think of other ones who they have one good character. Denzel Washington.
George Clooney
is one of them. George Clooney's another one.
It's first of all, Denzel Washington just came out and said that that's not how you pronounce his name. It's
what did he
Denzel.
Say? Really?
Yes. He's Denzel Washington Jr., and his dad is Denzel Washington Sr.
Huh.
And he said that Denzel is not how his name is pronounced. But he's a fantastic actor.
He's got more range.
He's not a one-trick pony.
He's got more range than some of them, but I have heard people say that his string of action movies, it's all the same character.
But he does more than action movies.
But he can do more than that.
I mean, if you're an action... I'll tell you who I think is the most versatile actor, and he is my favorite actor, is Chris Pratt. I think he could do anything. He's the best. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll check some of your questions as well in the YouTube chat and maybe hit some of those up when we return. You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. President Trump to make an announcement at 3 o'clock. There are reports right now that Trump is readying an expanded ICE presence in Chicago. What's he going to announce at 3 o'clock? Don't know. Keep it right here and you'll find out. We'll be right back.
Am I crazy? Have I lost you? Even though I know you love me, can't help it.
Well, if you've never been there, absolutely check out Andrea's Steakhouse in O'Fallon, Fairview Heights, Illinois. It is just a wonderful restaurant. That's where we're going for my birthday, which is in just a couple weeks. Annie said that I would definitely drop my birthday in there several times this month. This would be the first of many. Okay, maybe second or third that I've already said it. But that is the plan for us. So any occasion that you have going on in your life, no matter what it is, Andrea's is the perfect place to celebrate it. My mother-in-law is going to take us all there with the kids, and I am going to get a filet mignon because that is what I get basically every time I go. Once in a while, I'll try something else, but I just love the filet so much. And if you've never had an Andrea's filet, then you know that it is in a different league. It's a different kind of cut. I mean, it's just better. Plus, the way they cook it and their Andrea's sauce makes it absolutely perfect. Check out a lot of what they're doing to the restaurant. It's a unique place, too. So it's not just the food, but the ambience is great. Take your whole family there. Celebrate your next occasion at Andrea's Restaurant. Check them out at andreas.com. That's where you can also see all their variety of sauces, their barbecue sauce, their salad dressing, and their steak sauce are available in Dierbergs and Schnucks. Or again, andreas.com.
I'm Kristen Press.
And I'm Tobin Heath.
We're World Cup winners, Olympians, and the hosts of The Recap Show.
Every week, we sit down with the icons, disruptors, and game changers on the field and beyond it to talk victories, heartbreaks, and everything in between.
We've built a space where athletes, change makers, and people creating the future of women's sports can show up and show off as their full, unapologetic selves.
Follow and listen to The Recap Show wherever you get your podcasts.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You all remember me mentioning my wife's thermostat being broke because of the, the change of women evidently have to go through, which is horrible. People called me asking me how did she feel about me sharing her insanity. I did notice seeing her looking through a fork at me. So, hey, guys, if your wife, your girlfriend, your better half is looking through a fork at you, look it up. Why? You're going to be shocked. But she's still happy that she's got air conditioning. So, you need help. You need pricing. Somebody told you you need new equipment. Remember, Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. But guys, look up wives looking through forks at husband. You better change your program around. God bless.
As someone who's listening to the radio right now, we're asking you, if a show member here on the Annie Fry Show wins the Powerball, how much should they give their castmates, especially if they're the host? We have been taking a lot of your comments on this. I'm pulling up one right now. Jerry says, nothing. That money will ruin your happy life. So I think what he's saying is he's not going to give any of that money away because he doesn't want to ruin anybody else's life.
He's doing it for you.
What a nice guy. If you want to leave a comment or vote, you find the show by typing in Annie Fry on YouTube, and then you'll see today's date along with this live stream, and that's where you can vote and leave a comment. 2:36. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
Still leading. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Well, talking about the Powerball, Info Dude comments today, the only thing I'd be giving my coworkers if I won the Powerball is the finger.
Yep. Yep. I mean, not that I would do that, but I read that he said that.
Do you think, what is the likelihood if you win $1 billion, which is close to the take home, what is the likelihood that you become less happy with life?
Pretty high.
Pretty high.
There's a time period in which you would be ecstatic. But then after that, and I don't know if this is going to come across well. Part of the joy of life is the struggle of life. And to not have to struggle for a while would be great.
There's purpose in the struggle.
Yes. After that, I don't know. A lot of what we all do is kind of pushing back and making it. And you take that away and it kind of would change who you are and your purpose.
I don't know. I think that if you have that struggle, you just have to redefine what that struggle is. And that much money will give you the opportunity to do a little good in the world. And the new struggle becomes continuing to grow that wealth so that you can continue to do great things for other people and make the world a better place.
That's not a struggle, though. Like your new purpose. But it wouldn't, if you hire smart people, like that's, I think one of the most important things you would have to do is to hire the correct team of people, accountants, tax attorneys, lawyers, who would manage that money for you so that you could be a part of it, apart from it. So that it exists. You know you have it. You know you have access to it. But essentially almost putting together like a board of directors of your own that would manage what you would be doing for the rest of your life with it to preserve, like, because, you hear celebrities talk about how from time to time, like they don't want their kids to be trust fund babies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the money alone is the root of all evil. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I don't know if the money alone is what would make a kid not a good person or a happy person. Like, I don't know what the actual word is for the kind of failure you could have if somebody never has to understand the struggle. I do know that the Trump kids have always known money. And to bring this into a political conversation, I suppose, it does seem as though that the Trump kids are incredibly well-adjusted and independently successful within the business that Donald Trump has built and grown.
You don't have to be a nasty person just because you have money. I think we need to be saying that more in America because there's a large
It's a pro-capitalism thought.
Yeah, there's a huge group of people whose entire business economic philosophy is the greed of other people's money. And they'll say, well, greed drives the economy, but they're greedy. I mean, they basically want to take other people's money away. You can be evil if you have money, for sure. In fact, it's probably easier to be terrible.
And you could be good and kind if you have no money.
But you can also be a great person in the eyes of the Lord with money.
The New York Post reports Saturday night's drawing is expected to be worth $1.7 billion, clocking in at the third largest lottery jackpot in history. The sum is only available to winners patient enough to wait out 29 years of annual payments, worth about $56.6 million per year to start, minus taxes. Winners preferring a lump sum up front would walk away with, at the point of this publishing, $770 million. It's up to like 850 or something right now. So 770 is this is interesting. 770.3 million as of this New York Post article, which was posted yesterday. The lump sum is $770.3 million, which goes down to $485.3 after federal and state taxes are taken out.
Wait, the lump sum that you'd get of $1.5 billion was $700?
The jackpot is $1.7 billion.
Okay.
If you take the lump sum amount instead of annually over 29 years, the lump sum is worth a lot less than the annual payment. The lump sum is $770.3 million, which you then have to pay taxes on.
Taxes,
yes.
Okay.
So it's $485 million. Saturday's jackpot will be so gargantuan that even the most prolific spendthrift will have to get creative to spend it all in one go. How would you do that? I just think you have to compartmentalize something like that, and it's easy for us to say when we don't have anything like this is just an existence that we don't know and will never likely know. But you have to have good people who you surround yourself with, which hopefully you would have that before you won.
You better, because getting it after you win, that's gonna be tough.
I think that would be the most disappointing. I would assume there would be a great sense of loneliness that would exist in assessing all of your interactions with people as to whether or not it was based on money. Like, did people want to be around you before you were a bazillionaire? Do they seem like they really want to be around you now? I would assume that you would be getting requests from everybody for money. But you'd also be getting requests from people you'd never heard of with stories that you would probably want to pour your heart and soul into making a difference, wouldn't you? Like, if there's somebody who's got a sick kid or something and they need a procedure and they can't afford it and their insurance can't cover it, like, and you got that's why it would all have to go to a group of people where they're managing the money, where it's just a job for them to manage said money. I would have to separate myself from it in the sense that my emotional state of mind couldn't be attached to it, so that I couldn't let it get the best of me and control me. I think that would... You're supposed to... I remember reading one time you're supposed to hire 3 people, an attorney, a tax attorney, and an accountant. But I think you would want to have other people... Who else would you want involved in that?
I don't know.
Just maybe multiple of those? So you get like second opinions?
I know a lot of people... This is a weird story and name drop real quick here, but when I was in TV... For whatever reason, I can't remember what it was. We met with Rod Roddenberry, the son of Gene Roddenberry, who created Star Trek. And that kid, he's a grown man, but he had inherited a lot of wealth, and he owns all of that franchise. So he's going to be wealthy for the rest of his life. He set up a huge philanthropic organization with lots and lots of people involved. And I always thought, that's exactly how you do that. Because you could, if you're sitting on that kind of money, and it'll never stop, that franchise will keep going and just paying off forever. You'd have to have somebody managing like multiple people like you're talking about. All the different stories that come in to weed out people who were disingenuous, to find out who is the most authentic that deserved that philanthropic money. And he had done it very well.
You'd have to budget. This is what I'm willing to give this cause. This is what I'm willing, like annually, this is what I'm willing. Because if you invest all of that, the amount of money you'd have at your fingertips that would just be an interest made would be incredibly impactful. And you just have to say, this is the budget. And I would probably want to hire people who understood what I cared about, understood what I didn't care about. And then I'd probably want them to make recommendations. This is how we'd like to spend it. And then I could approve it or deny it. But I think it's like 50-50. It could ruin your life.
Yeah.
Would you want to remain in Illinois? I don't believe you can, but would you want to remain anonymous?
I don't know that I'd really care about that.
There's no way that
everybody who knows you would know. I guess you'd be warding off like the randos who would find out about you and try to come out on something. But
yeah. First thing you'd buy? First non-debt payment.
Okay.
First fun
thing.
First
to buy.
I'm loaded thing.
I think I'd buy a lake house somewhere. Because I've always loved the idea of spending a summer on a nice lake, like even like Holiday Shores or something. But it's such a seasonal thing that I would never, with the money that I have right now, really invest in that, because so many months out of the year you're not boating.
Yeah.
But that would be a luxury thing I would like.
That you could allow to just sit unused.
Yeah.
For a period of time and not care about it. The property taxes on it or whatever. Brad, what about you?
I think it's a shop to work on like the cars that I'm going to own. I would build the ideal dream shop with lifts and all the equipment that I could ever want to do anything that I ever want with a car.
I'd buy 20 acres with a 5-acre lake. put the sweetest double wide with a 360-degree, I almost said 365-degree. That's the days in a year. 360-degree wraparound porch on it.
Oh, nice.
So you could spend, like, I would want more real estate outside than inside. Some of it covered, some of it not. But just a really, really great outdoor area with a lake that you could go. I want a lake that you can go on and has nooks and crannies and everything so that you can't see the whole lake when you're on it.
Isn't it enticing to go somewhere like that, though, that would have year-round perfect temperatures? That there are very few places like that in the earth.
Because I want to be out there in the chill and the fall, and I want to be out there in the summer in a, shorts and a tank top fishing, or sitting watching my husband go fishing and kids and maybe eventually grandkids and stuff. No, I love the seasons. That place, I want to have seasons. And maybe you build a really sweet cabin out there, but I probably wouldn't need to. You just need a place. All right, let's determine when we come back the results of the poll. If one of us wins the Powerball, how much should we give our castmates? Your response and ours next.
Scott Jennings here. I'm excited to be part of the St. Louis conservative conversation, cutting through the noise with unfiltered common sense.
Scott Jennings.
Weekdays at 8 p.m.
on 97.1 FM Talk.
If you or someone you know has a home to sell, call Gloria Lou. That's right, Gloria Lou, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is here with me now. And when it comes to St. Louis area market conditions, what advice do you have for your home sellers in today's market?
Well, most importantly, I understand every seller's situation is different. Some sellers need to sell, and some sellers want to sell. And a lot of my sellers are looking to buy, and they also have a home to sell. My advice in this uncertain market is to get an upfront written guarantee. That way, you know exactly how much you stand to make with your home sale. My guarantee sale offer is simple. I'll sell your home at 100% of market value, or I'll pay you the difference.
Take it from me, Mark Cox, an actual client. Sell with certainty and an upfront guarantee with Gloria Lou. Call 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Rooted in faith, grounded in family. This is the Annie Fry Show.
I don't want to be the kind to hesitate and be too shy, way too late. I don't care what they say other lovers do. I just want to dance with you. I got a feeling that you have a heart like mine, so let it show, let it shine. If we have a chance to make one heart of two, I just want to dance with you.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Gosh, you can't go wrong with George Strait. The George Strait Chris Stapleton Show in the Ohio Stadium. So good. Chris Stapleton came to St. Louis, and I'm like, gosh, he's my current favorite. John Mayer, favorite. But of all of the people who have come on the scene since I've been paying attention to John Mayer when I was in high school, Chris Stapleton is my absolute fave. And George Strait is Jared's fave, and they toured together. I think they still might do that. Every year I wait to see if they come back out. Well, Chris Stapleton just went to Riverport or whatever that is these days. And I thought, gosh, I should go to that. It's going to be great, but I just didn't want to. You ever have something like that where it's like the memory that I had of going to Columbus, Ohio and engaging that whole trip and everything, and it was just Jared and me. I just didn't want it to get clouded by having to go to the Maryland Heights.
Did that just recently. Like within the last couple of years, I graduated from SIU Carbondale, and I have really great memories of being there and all the weird video shoots we did, just goofy stuff, you know.
It kind of takes on a caricature in your head.
Uh-huh.
Like there are things that you kind of fill in the blanks with. You know, you have your memories, but you might cover it with a little rose-colored glasses.
Absolutely, you do.
And then you go back and you're like, oh.
There were spots where you go, oh, man, that's where we used to play midnight football in the parking lot and stuff, up till 2 a.m., stuff you only do in college. And I went back recently, and it just looked a little different. They had torn a couple buildings down, which I don't think that was the point. It just was different. And I saw it for the first time as an adult.
Yeah.
And it was, oh, there's like nothing magical about this. And in fact, it's kind of depressing.
Oh.
And I went home and I took a salt bath.
So weird. All right. Our YouTube live chat poll for today. If a show member wins the Powerball, how much should they give their castmates? You got to participate in order to get some of the winnings. Ryan, what's your answer?
Year's salary.
We'd have to find out what each other makes.
Mm-hmm. That's why I would do it.
Really? A year's salary?
I think so.
Okay.
Not sure, but I think so.
Brad?
The more I think about this, I mean, like my knee-jerk reaction is 7 figures. I mean, it's so much money that, like we were talking about, it's just funny money. So, yeah, 6 figures. But then I'm reading it, and it's like if a show member wins the Powerball, how much should they give? Well, they're not required to give anything. I would give 7 figures. I just don't think that I should expect that from other people.
I don't think you should either.
Nothing it is.
But I agree that you should give that.
Ethan?
7 figures.
Duh, right?
No thought whatsoever goes into it. We are all in agreement.
Mm-hmm.
If one of us wins, 7 figures.
Are you going to buy a ticket?
Yes.
How much will you? I spend $20. Let's just go get $20 worth of Powerball. What are you going to put into this?
Is everyone putting in 20?
No, it's not together. It's not together.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
you got to get your own ticket.
buy on their own.
We're not doing any sort of like
$10.
So you got to go to the store and get your ticket for $10, and it's your money.
I don't do that.
Did you
How
just
about
do
you
what
go?
my 2-year-old did?
Sure did.
When they didn't like it when I said you need to go potty in the potty?
What if you went
Mhm.
and I Venmoed you $10?
No, because if that ticket wins, I'm keeping it.
Why can't you give it to me on Monday? Is it going to be done by
The
Monday?
drawing's on Saturday.
The ticket?
Yeah, give them all the loot. Go ahead, do
How
that.
about this?
Look, I'll do that with you.
Buy it for
I'm
me.
gonna hold my-
Buy it for me, and then
These were yours.
I'll stop by on Saturday.
No, just. Do you have an aversion to the gas station?
You bought 10. I bought 1. This was the one that won.
just happened
Oddly,
to be
That's mine.
here's your 10
Ironically.
losers.
I think it's an absolute. Folks, don't do this. If you've already done this, then it's too late. But don't go in a pool.
Right.
That's not going to end well. You need to have lawyers sign off on the contractual obligations before you win anything, and you're not going to win anything, so nobody's going to do that. It's not going to end well. Just buy your own tickets.
Darn right. Don't pee in my pool. I don't sleep in your bed.
Go to the gas station. I think you pee in both.
You can do it online.
You strike me as one that pees.
If you Google Powerball, you'll go to the website. You can buy your ticket online.
Yeah, but there's experience going to a gas station, walking into the gas station. You know.
You're so weird.
Can I share these results now?
Yes, please.
We almost got halfway to 500.
Oh, well. It's not bad for a Friday.
212 votes on today's YouTube live chat poll. Here we go. If a show member wins the Powerball, how much should they give
Gosh,
to their
these are super
castmates?
close.
This is really close.
Oh.
22% say year's salary.
Yeah?
25% say nothing, and 25% say 7 figures. 27% say 500,000.
Oh, man. $500,000 it is. We'll see you on Monday. Or will we? Marguerite Show up next.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
No paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. Please consider hiring the Hayes to come check the concrete at your home that you need to have looked at. This is one of those things that can get put off for a really long time, and then it becomes a hazard, and it kind of creeps up on you. You might not even realize that it's getting as bad as it is getting until you trip on it, until something bad happens. You can call 314-227-9636, 314-227-9636, and talk to Matt Hayes. He's going to help you at Home Shield Foundation Repair assess the situation before you have to commit to anything. The 5-year warranty that supports the polyjacking that he can use on the concrete at your home, at your business, whether it's residential concrete, industrial concrete, that polyurethane foam gets injected under the concrete, raises it up, levels it out, gets rid of the liability that you might have that you know you need to fix. If you have uneven or sunken concrete, it's not just an eyesore, it's a safety hazard. Call 314-227-9636. 314-227-9636, HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. People with disabilities are extremely talented, resilient problem solvers that have so much to offer. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours.
Learn more and get involved at EasterSeals.com.
Get this, 42% of baby boomers don't even know how much money they have in their nest egg. If you're not sure where you stand in terms of getting ready for retirement, you should be listening to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Tune in to the All Financial Hour with Steve All, Saturday